Booger and Maz. Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5, the Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group Station. Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Houston scored 23 points in the fourth quarter to blow open a close game, and they won in Pittsburgh last night, 30-6 in the first round of the NFL playoffs. C.J. Stroud threw a touchdown pass, but also was credited with 5 fumbles, 2 of which he lost.
We had some problems with the snaps. Me catching them, got to find a way just to catch them and then take care of the ball. We knew on tape that they did a good job of punching at the ball or trying to, get you to, while you're throwing, get your throwing arm. So, I try to work on that throughout the week. But
Texas defense also scored a pair of touchdowns in the final quarter to put the game away. As a result, they come to Foxborough to play the Patriots in round 2. Kickoff will be at 3 o'clock at Gillette Stadium. That'll be followed by the Rams at Chicago Sunday night. Saturday games will be Buffalo at Denver at 4:30, followed by San Francisco at Seattle. In other Patriots news, Mike Vrabel confirmed yesterday Christian Gonzalez is indeed in concussion protocol. Top Houston wideout Nico Collins suffered a bad-looking concussion last night and did not return. Former Baltimore head coach John Harbaugh has reportedly already had conversations with both Atlanta and the New York Giants. Pascal Siakam made a push shot in the lane with 6.1 seconds left. Indiana beat the Celtics 98-96. Derek White missed a 3 as time ran out. The Green opened up their 4-game road trip with a loss. They're in Miami Thursday night. Jaylen Brown didn't play last night because of lower back spasms. Yesterday, he was fined $35,000 by the league for complaining about the refs after a loss to San Antonio over the weekend. And the Bruins continue their homestand against Detroit tonight. Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers have the pregame at 7 and the face-off at 7:30 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by IBEW 103 and Nika Electrical Contractors. IBEW 103 celebrating 125 years of power in Greater Boston. To find a qualified contractor for your next electrical, telecom, or security project today, visit thepowerprofessionals.org. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 6:30.
Here we go.
Boom. I win. Boom.
Yeah.
It's a buddy.
We've got a passion for Boston sports.
Get angry.
98.5 The Sports Hub.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Toucher
You might hate me, but you're listening.
and Hardy
Don't bother me. I'm at the Pickle Palace.
on 98.5.
I know what I'm capable of.
He said something about peanut butter, right?
Yeah. Boning, baby. Make America nut again.
That's gross. That's disgusting.
Let's talk about cheese.
What are you going to have for lunch?
I was at dinner with my wife and a friend.
Kitty, kitty, pussy, kitty, kitty, kitty. Flap, flap, flap.
Shut up, I'm trying to talk to Paul.
Toucher and Hardy
Good luck trying to put your finger in it when there's a million holes.
on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Let's go.
Hey, good morning. We are Toucher and Hardy. Tom Fair Tire Studios, 617-779-0985. You can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. Big show on the way today. Andrew Callahan will be in studio at 8 o'clock. Our old friend Craig Gass, comedian. He's been on Stern, Family Guy, all these things. He will be on at the 9 o'clock hour. And I'm supposed to have lunch with him after the show. I'm very tired. The Whoop says I got 3.5 hours of sleep.
That's
not enough.
Oh.
That's what the Whoop says.
Is that good sleep?
That's like actual sleep, like when I was asleep, not just in bed. I was in bed for longer than that, but it says for sleep.
Do you have the Whoop on right now?
Yeah.
Whoop. There it is.
Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop.
Tag team actually made this.
There it is.
Yeah. The Bruins defenseman is Parker Witherspoon.
I'm not falling for that.
Oh, okay.
Where are you guys going to have lunch?
I don't know. Somewhere close, but I'm very tired. When I was walking into a building today, moving slow, it occurred to me, oh, yeah, Craig's coming in today.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's the
which
fun.
is good, but the lunch situation is very difficult.
Here's the fun part. A lot of places won't be open for lunch till 11:30. So you guys will just have to
hang
chill
out. Yeah, maybe in the conference room, the two of you can, just chill out, catch up.
Well, I like Craig. It's not Craig. It's just. But I'll tell you, my daughter has a game in Bedford tonight at 5.
Oh, that's fun.
It's could be worse. It's often worse. So no, I got to go right after. I got to go pretty close after the show because I got to go to sleep or I'm going to get a car accident. So
maybe you hit that Dunkin' down the street.
There's things that got to be open at 10:30 in the morning. You got to figure.
Got to be a diner nearby or something you can get food at.
Yeah, I mean, we're in Waltham. I mean, Waltham's got a lot of business.
Moody Street's always good.
Yeah. I mean, there's Main Street, Moody Street. There's a bunch of stuff. I mean, I find it very difficult to believe 11:30. When we went out with Rick that one time before the show started, that had to have been right after the show. When we went to Not Your Average Joe's or whatever that was?
No, because we weren't doing the show yet. We went out and had lunch with them before we actually went on the air, I believe.
Dominic's, the sandwich shop right down the street, is open at 10:30. I know because I've gone there at that time. So
you know what? You know what's across the street? You could just sit in a parking lot.
Yeah,
hang out for
questions on Twitter. Yeah. I understand. Yes. You're talking about Chipotle.
Yes.
When you wait for Chipotle to open.
Yeah, they might be.
That's 10:30.
10:45.
10:45.
10:45.
Sorry.
At least the one that I go to is 10:45.
Yeah, it's 10:45 across the street too, and that's a loose 10:45.
Yeah, like they're open, but don't expect to be getting a burrito anytime soon.
Yeah, they're open, but like, who are you?
There's a lot of prep work going on.
It's a soft opening.
Yeah, a lot of times there's people that work there eating when they open.
So I've noticed this in other places, especially on over the holidays when I can't remember if it was Christmas or New Year's. One of the nights we got Chinese takeout. Everyone who goes into a restaurant now, we'll see this. 50% of the people going to pick up food are delivery drivers. It is not people just ordering food. So last night, the big wrench got thrown into the works because my daughter figured out at 3 o'clock that she had to work at 4 o'clock.
Oh.
Thought she wasn't working until tomorrow, but why would somebody with her busy schedule be checking her schedule? She's working 2 or 3 shifts a week for the 7 weeks that she's home on her, break from school. So, who could keep track of, such a gauntlet of things to do? All right, so dinner plans got blown up last night, and it's about 7 o'clock last night. I'm like, hey, so we're not making, Marcia wasn't going to make dinner because Katie wasn't going to be home. Fine, I'll go get something. What does everybody want? There's a whole conversation. I said, you know what? I just need human chow. I need something in my stomach sooner than later. I'm going to Taco Bell. All right? Who else wants Taco Bell? So then it starts with the order. And the complex orders, not just from Marcy and Calvin, because he wants the KFC attached to the Taco Bell.
Okay.
But now Katie somehow is chiming in. She's not even home. But she wants her special Taco Bell order when she gets home. I'm like, I'm not doing this through the drive-thru. I don't have a Taco Bell app. I'll go into the Taco Bell.
Okay.
When's the last time you physically went inside a Taco Bell?
It's been a while.
Been a while, right?
Yeah.
I go in there. There are 4 people standing there. I'm like, oh, I guess I'm not the only one. Maybe this is kind of a hangout. Every single one of them a delivery driver. That's all they do, which I really can't fathom the amount of sloth it would take to say, you know what, I want Taco Bell, but I'm not driving to get it. I'm just going to pay to have it delivered for me, and I'll pay that extra money because Taco Bell, as good as it is, it's even better when it's had a chance to cool down for about 30 minutes and someone else in the passenger seat of someone's car.
Well, and when you don't go in, you miss when the lady behind the counter goes, I got to take a dump, which is what happened to me.
And the guy working the register who is a nice guy, and I've got this order, I'm a pain in the ass. Yes, I would like, the burrito supreme, but without onions and with beef. And I want the.
Right.
Apparently, you have some grilled cheese thing now that my daughter is into, but she's got her Taco Bell hack the way she wants it ordered. And I just want it. I want a sniper to put one behind my ear this whole time. And this guy's doing it. He's getting it done, right? He's taking care of business. And I'm just waiting for my food, and they put it up on the counter and like, okay, we got this. Did you get your drink? I said, no. And this woman looks over at the guy working the counter. It's like, he didn't get his drink? He's like, no. He not only had one, but two people come and chew his ass for not handing me the cup for my drink.
Oh, boy.
And I don't want to get in the middle of it. I said, it's fine. It's fine.
Right.
And this kid looked properly chagrined, and he asked the person working the drive-thru, he's like, can you just get him a cup? This guy's like, all right. Took him a while. And then the manager comes over and chews his ass. Make sure you give him the drink when at the counter order. I'm like, I could just stick my face under the faucet. I'm fine. I'm okay.
And then you let the guy's cat out, and the whole thing fell apart. You're getting everyone fired.
Yeah.
I haven't had Taco Bell for years.
Really?
Yeah, you go out to my parents' house in Tennessee to that fast food row, and then something's going to happen where you're like, okay.
Oh, you told the story about the drive-thru. Yeah,
was that an Arby's?
Okay, so there was the Arby's drive-thru in by my parents' house where the woman had scabs all over her arms and had been picking at her face. She looked like she shot cocaine. Like she had like scabs all over her arms, and she'd been like picking at her face.
Could be eczema.
So I just threw that out. And then there was the Taco Bell by the airport where, we had been delayed and this and that. And when we got there, I was so hungry. It was the only thing that was open. And I had to go inside because the drive-thru was closed. And I went inside and I ordered the food. And when I was sitting there, I was the only one in there. And the woman that had taken my order goes, all right, I got to take an S. And then walked from behind the counter into the public bathroom to conceivably take a dump. And then it was, taking forever to make my food. So I can't remember if this is true. I can't remember if she came out or not. But I just know that the woman announced that she had to take a dump. A woman.
Yeah.
Classy lady. I mean, she was beautiful. That's the thing, is that it was a real catch-22 because I was like, she's very good looking, but she's disgusting. So I don't know. That was the thing. Plus, she's got this McDonald's gig. She's got this Taco Bell gig. So yeah, I haven't had Taco Bell since then, and that was several years ago.
Would have been nice if you swung back by and dropped off a couple of pamphlets for Sky Rizzy. Or maybe I think that's for plaque psoriasis, but that could be the condition, or maybe some eczema treatment.
Yeah. I can you eczema doesn't make you weigh 85 pounds.
No,
eczema,
no, it does not.
You could be at any weight and have eczema.
Well, this poor woman is obviously a fitness freak, and now she's dealing with this skin condition, and it's probably inhibiting her ability to work out as much as she wants to, but credit to her, she's still getting it done. She's putting in the hours at the gym.
It's like, I understand Arby's in East Tennessee isn't, this huge gig, but I just question when that woman showed up to work that no one went, okay, whoa, all right. Like, at least put on long sleeves. Like, you got to do something to cover this stuff up.
Go get some SpongeBob Band-Aids. Do something.
Yeah, like that there wasn't anyone that was saying, okay, I gotta be an adult. Like, I gotta tell you to, like, you gotta cover up your arms. Like, not necessarily, if you were uncomfortable sitting at home, I would understand. But just going, like, you gotta cover your arms up.
Wouldn't that be the worst position to be in as a manager of any kind? But I imagine it's got to happen at East Tennessee fast food places more than any, where you have to talk to people about their either personal hygiene or personal appearance issues that need to be addressed so that they can continue employment. Like talking to people about using deodorant or covering open sores on their skins. Like that's got to be a problem. That can't be fun for any person in a management position.
Well, you take with great, responsibility.
With great power.
It goes great responsibility. And then I told you the time I was at Waffle House by my parents' house. This is a much more lighthearted one. And it might have been New Year's Day. last year, and we were in there, and this woman was like, how you got, like, to this other table. She's like, we were at the counter. She's like, how you guys feeling? And they're like, big night last night. She was, yeah, I got a 12-pack in the refrigerator back there. Like the waitress was
throwing
having
back.
some medicinal beers during her shift, which but if you've worked in the restaurant industry, chances are you've done that. But I thought it was just fun.
Yeah, when I worked in a bar.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it was just funny that she worked. That she just was like, yeah, I'm ripping some white sharks back. Got some white sharks floating around in the styrofoam bin backstage. Don't worry about me.
Staging area.
Yeah. So
stage, as they refer to it at Waffle House.
That's right. So that's 3 experiences at East Tennessee restaurants that are very interesting. Very. So yeah, that's why that's certainly why I won't have Arby's again, because there's something about that meat and then scabs, like that. Like the combination was too much. I just threw the food away. I mean, I paid for it and got handed it and just threw it away.
Perfectly good beef and cheddar, curly fries.
I won't have the cheddar on it. I've never had a cheeseburger, never beef and cheddar.
Yeah, that's unusual.
I've met someone else who's never had a cheeseburger too.
Okay,
How long? You met one other person?
I met someone recently that's never had a cheeseburger.
Wow.
I'm not a fan of unmelted cheese, and I will avoid it 90% of the time. But that cheddar, first of all, I don't even know if it's cheese. And second of all, it's just liquid. It's like a sauce.
Which is even grosser. And I've never had mac and cheese either.
How about a steak and cheese sub? No?
I've had steak and cheese because I've been to, like, Philadelphia, and it was just, like, I didn't want to deal with, like, just fine.
Have you ever had pizza?
No. No, I've never had pizza.
No, what's the difference between like a cheese on a pizza and a cheese on a burger?
And I'll also have cheese on like Mexican food. So, and I'll have French onion soup. It's weird. I've had a bite of a cheeseburger by accident, and it like grossed me out. So like I have had it and like consumed it.
Yeah.
So I've had like a bite. I've never had like a cheeseburger. I've never even had a bite of mac and cheese.
So maybe it's the type of cheese that you're having a problem with. Pizza with mozzarella on it.
Yeah, mozzarella,
cheddar or American. Okay. It seems like you're against.
Very good.
Yeah, that's pretty much Swiss, which is on French onion soup, but for whatever reason I can have that. But yeah, like American, Swiss, cheddar. These are all things that I'm not a fan of.
Okay.
I won't eat.
How about a Reuben?
Oh,
I will not have a Reuben. I'll have a Reuben with no cheese. I will not have a Reuben with cheese. Yeah, I'm a fun guy, but I'll have nachos. I mean,
you are a study in contrast.
I know
you really are.
And you know what it is? It's exciting. I keep you guessing. But listen, we have fun. Don't hold it against me, guys. Come on. All right. We will be back. You know who the Patriots are playing. You know when they're playing. We have all that information. And the Celtics played last night, minus their big star. We will have all that for you in just a moment. We are Toucher and Hardy. What happened last night's brought to you by Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, where your hair doesn't have to be a game of what happens. To change your lettuce and change your life with Dr. Matthew Lepresti at 1-800-GET-HAIR.
Well, for weeks I've been saying I wasn't worried about this Houston Texans team, and boy, did they prove me right last night.
Yeah, you target those guys more.
Stroud gets a snap, will give, and now it's going to be a flea flicker. Stroud back, pressure coming, hit, and the ball is out, and Y.A. Black has it for the Steelers at the 45-yard line. Well, the pressure came from Sawyer, and Y.A. Black snatched it out of the air.
C.J. Stroud coughing up the ball in the first quarter last night of their wild card matchup against the Steelers in Pittsburgh, and Stroud wasn't done being hapless and helpless and hopeless.
2nd and 6, and Stroud drops a snap, back to pass, looking, steps up, and flings the ball forward. The Steelers are going to think this is a fumble with Watt on top of it, and the officials are saying it is a fumble at the 21-yard line, and T.J. Watt has recovered, and the Texans offense is jogging off the field.
Yeah, hell yeah, they are. So
Five fumbles by C.J. Stroud last night.
And the T.J. Watt there, who still hasn't won a playoff game. But look, Steelers absolutely rolling last night. This was awesome.
Stroud in the shotgun, gets a snap, back to pass, looking left. Now back to the right, has time, stepping up, dancing in the pocket, slings sidearm, and is it picked off? Holy mackerel! Eccles somehow came up with a tumbling interception inside the 5-yard line. What a catch on the INT by Eccles.
So that was a C.J. Stroud interception that he threw in the third quarter. I don't know what happened after that. I went to bed, but I can only assume that the Patriots will now be facing the Steelers Sunday at Gillette Stadium. So let's move on to the Celtics. What?
Terrible throw by Stroud. He did a lot of things wrong in the first 3 quarters.
Yeah, he was not good. That's a record, 5 fumbles and 3 fumble recoveries is a record apparently as well.
Yes.
But, he was...
That throw, I mean, just listening to it doesn't do it justice in how bad a throw that was. That was an atrocious decision.
Yeah, he's
especially
kind of
in the red zone, really bad.
He's kind of a strange kid.
Yeah, a little bit.
That C.J. Stroud, yeah. He's a bit of an oddball.
Yes.
But we'll see how things go.
Well, okay, so it was 7-6 after 3 quarters, and the Texans would add a field goal in the fourth to go up 10-6. Aaron Rodgers with the ball.
Rodgers tapping his gut, takes the snap. Rodgers, pocket collapsing. Rodgers is going to go down, and the ball is out. Who's got it? Rankins picks it up. He's on the move. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Sheldon Rankins. Rock and roll.
Yeah.
To make it 17.
He's here to stay. It'll never die. Rock and roll music, you know?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, real heavy on swing.
17-6, the game essentially over at that point. Steelers would punt the ball away after a 6-play drive. Texans would score another touchdown. Now it's really over at 24-6. But just to give you a little something extra.
On 4th and 5, Rodgers looks it over. Here's the snap. Rodgers in the pocket. Rodgers flinging it downfield and picked off at the 50. Bullock to his left, 40, 35, 30. Bullock, 20. Bullock upended at the sideline, maintains his balance, and runs for pay dirt.
Didn't mention the fact that he pushed Aaron Rodgers aside on the sideline.
What was he doing exactly? Aaron Rodgers kind of ran over to the sideline and tried to get in the guy's way.
He was selling out, man.
Oh, man.
Could be his last game.
It looked like he was setting a screen.
Yeah, it could be his last game. He was setting the tone.
Yeah.
So Nico Collins, obviously very important receiver for Houston, with a concussion yesterday, carted off the field, so we'll see where he's at. It's kind of a Christian Gonzalez situation.
However, it's an advantage. Patriots have that extra day. Gonzalez has that extra day to come back from concussion protocol. Collins, you figure, I don't know how long a flight it is, but you figure the Texans players won't get back to the facility until this afternoon, and now they have to turn around and play the early game on Sunday.
Yeah, I know, John, but I mean,
would
you're
think,
talking about a difference of 24 hours.
But at the same time, I was reading all about this morning. There are 5 steps you have to go through to clear the concussion protocol, and each one takes a day. My point is, when you're trying to clear a concussion protocol, that extra day does make a difference.
I'm sure, but I mean, that is a fact that there is one less day for Nico Collins. But my point was being that 2 important players, one for each team, both with concussions, and we'll see where that goes. Because Nico Collins could wake up today and feel fine and start going through the concussion protocol immediately, and Christian Gonzalez could be, stuck in a dark room. So, I don't know how much 24 hours. That seems like a very NFL analysis-y thing of just talking about something like a concussion. It's probably based on whoever, but whatever. And listen, Houston was able to run the ball against Pittsburgh. I guess they haven't run the ball well this year. Aaron Rodgers is a very good player. His quarterback rating of 50 yesterday was very exciting. He was 17 of 33 for 146 yards with an interception, no touchdowns. He has not announced if he's retiring. And if I'm Pittsburgh, I don't know why you would possibly have him back. Under any circumstances, why you would have him back, but listen, he got them to the playoffs, just like who did, John, in the last 2 years.
What are we?
Who was it? Who was it?
Russell Wilson, and just like
Mason.
No, the white kid from.
Oh God, who was it?
Yeah, the white kid from Pitt.
Oh, Pickett, Kenny Pickett.
Oh, Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers.
Yes, Kenny Pickett, Russell Wilson.
Those are the guys. And Rodgers was sacked 4 times yesterday by Houston, and Rodgers doesn't hold on to the ball.
I didn't think.
By the way, same record, all 3 guys.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally does not make a difference.
I didn't think Rodgers was getting up after that last sack. He was down, and he looked, he looked down emotionally also. So, all right, is he going to hang it up?
Aaron, does that game affect your decision for what to do next year in any way?
No, I mean, I'm not going to make any emotional decisions. Disappointed, obviously, such a fun year. A lot of adversity, but a lot of fun. Been a great year, overall in my life in the last.
All right.
All right.
He said something interesting too, Fred, about the teams that he's played for.
There's only a few really special places in the league that have the tradition and the town and the organization, and I'm thankful to have played for 2 of them.
What? Excuse me? 2 of them.
Wait, so you're saying Green Bay and Pittsburgh are special?
Yeah.
And the Jets are not special. Well, I take great umbrage with that. Of all the things he's ever said, that is the most offensive.
Right?
You mean to tell me the expansion team in New York, the second team in New York, is not near as never wins anything?
Take it as an insult. That's
as
bulletin board material.
As a different vibe. Yeah, I'm sure he didn't enjoy his time in New York. They didn't kiss his ass far enough. They didn't bring all his friends in to coach and play with him. They did everything. He just couldn't win. That's his big thing, is he couldn't win there. They did everything he wanted to do. They brought in Nathaniel Hackett. They brought in Alan Lazard. They brought in the other
his
jabroni.
buddies. They even got
Randall
Adams
Cobb
at the end.
Yeah, they got Randall Cobb. They got every douche that he was, every talented prick. I mean, you should have seen the money they gave Lazard. They brought in everyone that he wanted. Nathaniel Hackett couldn't coach. Probably could coach high school, because I want to be serious. Could not coach a Power 4 program. He couldn't. So they did everything he wanted to do, and he couldn't win. I don't know what else you want from the guy. He knew Saleh was coach. He knew Woody Johnson was owner. He knew what the roster was. They made the moves that he wanted to be made.
They also, remember, they excused him from mandatory minicamp. They gave him the summer off.
So he could go to Egypt.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like 3 practices.
That trip was planned ahead of time.
But the thing is that I don't, like, of course Pittsburgh and Green Bay are better organizations and in more special places to play. They are. It's an obvious statement. But, like, if he wants to take shots at the Jets, I don't know really what they were supposed to do for him. I guess he's pissed Glenn didn't keep him around. But if they would have kept him around, say that the Jets won 6 games, so there would be 6 games. I don't know. I don't know. There are some people that defend Aaron Rodgers. It wasn't Joe Buck and Troy Aikman after the game.
No.
Not glowing in their praise when they were talking to Scott Van Pelt about Aaron Rodgers.
No, he looked like a guy who had just thrown his last NFL pass and didn't care. That's what it looked like. It looked like he understood that this was the end. He didn't play well. Houston's defense had a lot to do with that, but he's way beyond it. As a matter of fact, Aikman said that during the game where Rodgers rolled out and, threw a pass away or got sacked. He said, you know what? The Rodgers back in his prime could get out of the pocket and make a play, but now this is the Aaron Rodgers that Pittsburgh has, and he is limited in what he can and can't do.
Because he's going to dance around this whole announcement. He's going to stretch it out for as long as he can.
He wants to make sure that people pay attention to him. Maybe go on Pat McAfee a few times and spit nonsense.
And what's interesting is usually controversial people that speak their mind I'm big fans of, but he's so – and it's not that I disagree with him about anything because what do I know? It's that he's just so dumb. The things that he chooses to latch onto are so dumb. Conspiracy theories and nonsense. He's just a boring, dumb guy. You took the hallucinogen that, rich people go to Bali to take when you could have just taken acid. Or you could even get ketamine at a doctor now, but he's got to go, take ayahuasca in some... And it
seems like he's easily influenced and easily swayed by anybody who claims to be a wise man.
Yeah, he's very unimpressive because you say anything to the sports media and everyone's such an idiot.
Yeah.
And just so sheltered with Bruce Springsteen and being boring that you say you did ayahuasca and everyone craps themselves. But Oprah and Gwyneth Paltrow do that stuff. Yeah, you went to a shaman, and Robin Quivers is taking ayahuasca.
You did the same thing that Robin Quivers
did. You did some kind of rite of passage of super rich people.
Right. Too much time and money on their hands.
Meanwhile, there's every Hesher in Green Bay is sitting listening to Yes tripping on blotter acid, and they but you had to go down to Bali and take that, and it's just that the sports media and Pat Mac, everyone's so easily whoa, and that's if Aaron Rodgers just talked and said this crap, you know what? It's not even his fault. If he just talked and said this crap, who cares? But it's that it raises such this fuss, he's saying anything important or really taking a risk. I mean, I guess when he said he wasn't getting vaccinated, I mean, fair play. I guess when he said he wasn't getting vaccinated,
well, he said that
pissed a bunch of people off.
Well, when he said he was immunized, which was
right,
doing some wordplay
by taking zinc. I remember.
Well,
this.
he didn't say that he got vaccinated. They asked him all the questions about the protocols and about COVID, and he said, "I'm immunized."
So fair play. If he didn't want to take the thing that did piss people off legitimately, so I'll give him credit for that. But everything that followed in the wake of that was a lot of skyscrapers were built by aliens and things of that nature. He really seemed to get off on the not taking the shot thing and ride it into a whole land of everything else that he was going to get into.
So he's no fan of Aaron Glenn and the Jets, but a big fan of Mike Tomlin. He said it's ridiculous that Mike Tomlin would be on the hot seat, and he gave a lengthy answer about it, but there was a follow-up.
I've answered that a number of times. I've talked extensively about how I feel about Mike, and I just did in that answer. So thanks.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
So he's,
he's the latest guy who's enabled me. I'm a big fan.
I tell you, the reception that he got on the field from the Texans players was telling, and also the way he carried himself throughout that thing. I know he's a jive ass, and I can't stand him either. And I think he's totally full of it and himself. But the players who came up to him, and the way he talked to a lot of guys in the post game, I think he's still. And you see this across the league. You see it across sports. Guys who seem inherently dislikable.
Oh, people like Aaron Rodgers.
They the players really like him.
Well, they respect him,
and they respect him. But you could tell there was some real fellowship going on that field, Fred.
Boom. Yeah, no, people like him. I mean, I guess they would probably respect him. He's been in the league forever. They were kids watching him. I would imagine that.
Yeah.
I know that that people respect him. Now, a lot of people that play with him don't respect him as much afterwards. Garrett Wilson. I mean, there's a lot of people that have played with him that don't like him at all. So that is true. I think it's different from a distance than maybe it is up close. And the notion of firing Mike Tomlin to me is hysterical. That team won 10 games. That team, that particular team with that quarterback won 10 games is a feat of incredible coaching. And I don't know how many other guys could have won 10 games with that team. But, if they want to fire him and, go take a shot at a defensive coordinator that's never coached a team before, have at it.
I got news for you. You're going to need him because Pittsburgh, like the Jets before them, have painted themselves into a corner. Because whoever you replace Rodgers with isn't going to be very good because your draft pick with Rodgers as your quarterback is going to be better than you need it to be. So you're never going to get that impact quarterback you need.
They might be able to get like Ty Simpson or something. I wonder what they'll do. I wonder if like Malik Willis. But you're right. It's like a stopgap thing or a non-ideal kid.
You're dealing with a 2 or 3 or 4 year gap between quarterbacks that are going to stay for a while. You're just trying guys out. It's community auditions after Rodgers leaves, whether it's this year or next.
Right.
So you see the Jets. Now, the Jets are a different story, as you've detailed. But at the same time, in this particular situation, the Jets are screwed. They don't have a quarterback.
Right.
They won't have one for at least 2 years, maybe 3. Who knows what they're going to get in this draft?
Right.
So, I mean, when Rodgers leaves Pittsburgh, whenever that is, you're going to need Tomlin to make things look a hell of a lot better than they are.
If you're GM in Pittsburgh or the Rooneys, you can't bring Rodgers back. I mean, you're just delaying the inevitable. I mean, you're not going to win a Super Bowl with him. Again, if you're not going to win a Super Bowl or you're not on track to win a Super Bowl, what's the point? You draft a kid with the idea of winning a Super Bowl. You know you're not going to win it that year, but that kid is the guy that's going to win the Super Bowl.
And you're going to have to rip the Band-Aid
Right.
off, and it's going to be painful. But that's the question. That's the question that was kind of addressed by the Pittsburgh writer we had on earlier in the season. What's more painful for Steelers fans? Not making the playoffs for a couple of years or making the playoffs and losing, which Tomlin has now done
7 games in a row.
7 times in a row.
Well, you can try to reclamation project again, like a Malik Willis. You can try to do that. Malik Willis is young. I mean, there are quarterbacks you can get without drafting them. I mean, you don't have to be the Jets and constantly be drafting and then trading those draft picks away for more picks. I mean, there is a way to get out of the hell. I mean, look at Seattle and look at a lot of these teams. They've got reclamation projects at quarterback. There's a way to do it, but it's just not with a guy in his 40s.
Right. And these free agents you mentioned, Darnold, if you have Tomlin in Pittsburgh, you're far more likely to get a Darnold quarterback, a quarterback who is...
Yeah, if Malik Willis is going in and he's like, I could play for Pittsburgh or I could go... First of all, if I could play for Pittsburgh, New York, I'll play for Pittsburgh. But also add on to it that New York's going to take a quarterback this year or next. So I have this job at best temporarily. So I would go to Pittsburgh for... Even if the quarterback situation and pick situation... If you reverse those, I'd go to New York. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's beyond that Pittsburgh's a better franchise. Right. It's also that your replacement's getting drafted. But it could get drafted this year. It could be drafted next year, but they're going to draft your replacement. So if I'm Malik Willis, who a lot of people think could start in this league, a lot of very smart people, some would say the smartest, think that he could start in this league. We'll see where he ends up. It's always good when Pittsburgh's a good team. It is. But at least my father has another year of no Super Bowl. All right. We'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines. action, huh?
Yeah. Without Jaylen Brown, though, in Indianapolis, as the Celtics were taking on the Pacers. Close game throughout. Late, Peyton Pritchard. Would he make it to the 4 3-pointers that I needed him to make last night? All right, well, this will get him close.
Boston down 5. Hauser zips it down low. Jordan Walsh, diagonal kick out to the wing. Pritchard 3, got it.
What a sequence by Jordan Walsh. The hustle forces the turnover, saves the ball from going out of bounds, and quick pass to Peyton Pritchard.
Max sounding youthful there on the call alongside Sean Grande.
Max did TV last night.
Yeah, I saw him there. In they were showing footage of his MVP campaign and for which he won in the 81 final.
84, I believe. Did he win? I
thought it was 81.
They beat the Lakers in 84.
It was
81.
Jump on my back, yeah.
Oh, geez,
I can't believe I can't remember.
Johnny
which one
Wall
it is.
game was like 17 at that point, too.
23.
That should be formative sports.
I know. For some reason.
Plus, it's a guy he works with.
I know.
And plus, he corrected you for no reason. There's a lot of swings and misses there.
I was kind of asking, but
No, it was more of a correction, like from up high, and never has someone looked dumber. Woof, woof. The 81 finals was an all-timer.
Yeah, it was.
It was the best.
All right, so
it was the best.
Down 2 at this point. Derek White, what do you got for us?
It's safe for the Derek White. Watched by Neesmith. Derek White turns the corner. He's driving strong, going to pull up. Bank it home. We got a tie game. With 28.6 to go, Derek White not only ties it, the Celtics get the 2 for 1. 28.6 to go.
Okay.
Boston 96. Indiana 96.
So the NBA package on Amazon, when you get it, they don't show commercials. They just show the in-game cameras or what's on the scoreboard, like in between, during stoppages.
Sure.
The crowd in Indiana, I didn't see any of the game last night. I was watching football, but as if I have to explain myself, but the in-game shots of Indiana, my son and I have had some fun pausing. Not an attractive crowd.
Yeah.
A lot of genetic disorder in the crowd as well.
And Fred, to be fair, you could have watched the first hour of that game, which anyone will tell you that's the best hour to watch of an NBA game.
Right.
The first 2 quarters are really the most important.
No interest in it, but they're Indiana, not an attractive crowd.
No, well, Pascal Siakam with a chance to win it here as the score is tied at 96.
Siakam pulls away from setting the screen. Jordan Walsh is near Siakam. Nembhard now goes into his drive. Gets the screen from Siakam. Throws it back to him. 6 on the shot clock. Siakam against Derek White. Siakam bumps him. Free throw line. Turns. Floats it up. And it banks in. Are you kidding me? With the buzzard's luck that Pascal Siakam has had against a team that has tortured him for nearly a decade. Siakam spinning in the paint with the shot clock winding down. Has a floater bank in to give Indiana the lead, 98-96 with 6.1 to go.
Yeah, he banked it in from straight away. Don't see that very much.
Yeah, so this, you don't think he called glass on that?
Yeah, probably not.
His bank is open late, John.
Yeah.
Don't worry about him.
Sure.
No mention from Sean Grande there on anything hinky going on that final play, but that's all Joe Mazzulla could say in his postgame about that last Siakam shot and how he got loose and able to take that shot.
Joe, give yourself the chance to win, I guess. Take us through the last couple possessions.
Illegal screen.
What'd you say?
Illegal screen.
Illegal screen.
Illegal screen.
What fell apart to get you guys behind, and then how were you able to get that?
Illegal screen.
What do you mean by that? What do you want people to know?
Illegal screen.
So say you work for J.P. Morgan
Illegal
Chase and you walk into a meeting.
Yeah.
So you go into a meeting, there's a real weird dude in there. No. And you go into a meeting and you go in and the guy goes, blue horseshoe, like a Wall Street situation. He just repeats the same thing over and over
Is he
again.
saying blue horseshoe loves Endicott steel?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And he's just like, blue horseshoe. And you're like, yeah, okay. Can you please elaborate? Blue horseshoe. Yeah, okay. and then they go, well, coaches, they're coming off these losses. There's 82 games. Everyone in whatever they do for a living.
No, you'd call security.
Anything you do for a living, there are days where things go wrong over the course of 82 opportunities. There's if you're working for somewhere, there's things that are on the line, presentations, it's sponsors, sales that don't go through. And if you went into the person in charge, now the NBA finals or something like that, these once in a lifetime opportunities, you understand the emotion. A regular season basketball game, it just the leash we give some of these coaches in these press conferences is hysterical to me, because if you put it anywhere else in life, on a Monday night or a Monday afternoon, that the sales team gets together and the head of sales is just Crayola crayons. Yeah, okay, boss. Yeah, Crayola crayons. Yeah, I know we didn't get the crayon account, but are we going to pivot? Is there somewhere else? Crayola crayons. And you just be like, okay. Well, I'm dealing with someone who's completely not on this, is not dealing on the same level as me in terms of ability to handle emotion.
Well, he's already at his wit's end, and I heard him in the during the pregame that Grandy and Abby were doing, referring to Jaylen Brown's absence and how he was being sat down as punishment because he said, look, you can't draw 12 fouls one night and then 0 the next night. That's on you. So he was being punished for playing so poorly that, and of course this is a classic sarcastic Joe Mazzulla taking shots at the ref. By the way, Jaylen Brown has said he'll gladly pay the $35,000 fine. He said what he said, and he doesn't regret it or take it back. But I believe he was all out of his good humor by the time this second outrageous blow was handed to him and his Celtics squad. First, Jaylen Brown not getting any calls, followed up by a missed call on that illegal screen.
Listen, you had to deal with Jay Huff all night.
That's right.
And when Jay Huff goes off, I can look at a box score. When Jay Huff says, I'll take 20.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you going to do?
Illegal screen.
Well,
that's right.
That's exactly what you're going to do.
Illegal screen.
What if you just Jay Huff? We just hit the Jay Huff Express.
Illegal screen.
Jay Huff just told us what for.
Illegal screen.
Jay Huff just gave us the business.
Illegal screen.
Jay Huff just said, listen, I'm huffing, puffing, and blowing this game down.
Illegal screen.
Okay. There you go, sir. All right. There you have it. Illegal screen. There it goes. All right. We'll be back in just a moment. Alex Bregman is a Chicago Cub. How did the baseball heads, the kids that love the professional baseball, how do they handle it? We have all that information coming up for you in just a moment.
Illegal screen.
Patriots, Bruins, the Celtics, WBCFM and HD Boston 98.5, the Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group station celebrating 65 years of broadcasting. Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Patriots are back at work yesterday after a playoff win over the LA Chargers on the Sunday night, and now they're locked into a home game this coming Sunday afternoon at 3 against Houston. The Texans won in Pittsburgh last night 30-6 to advance behind 112 yards rushing and a touchdown from Woody Marks and a pair of defensive scores in the fourth quarter. The late game on Sunday will be the Rams at Chicago. The two games at Saturday on this Saturday will include both top seeds. Denver will host Buffalo, and then it'll be Seattle hosting San Francisco. Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel told the media yesterday Christian Gonzalez is a big question mark for this coming weekend against Houston.
I would say that he would be in the protocol. And so how long that lasts, I don't know. But when you don't return to the game, when they won't let you go back in the game, that would put him in the protocol.
He is in concussion protocol after Gonzalez left Sunday night's playoff win over the Chargers in the fourth quarter. Former Baltimore head coach John Harbaugh has informally met with both Atlanta and the New York Giants as he begins his job search. Celtics were without Jaylen Brown last night. They needed him. They lost in Indiana 98-96. Pascal Siakam put the Pacers ahead with 6.1 seconds left. Peyton Pritchard scored a game-high 23 points in the loss. The Celtics visit Miami Thursday night. Getting back to Jaylen Brown, he was fined $35,000 by the NBA for his criticism of the officiating after a home loss to San Antonio over the weekend. And the Bruins continue their homestand tonight against Detroit. Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers have the pregame at 7, the face-off at 7:30 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the $14.99 Big Deal Meals at the 99, like the juicy chopped sirloin. All Big Deal meals are now available all day, every day for just $14.99. You gotta love the nines. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7:30.
Sunday, the Houston Texans or Pittsburgh Steelers will make their way to Gillette Stadium to take on your New England Patriots in the second round of the NFL playoffs.
Henry makes the catch. He's in. Touchdown. Patriots.
Will Drake May face C.J. Stroud or Aaron Rodgers? We'll find out tonight. And then you'll hear the Patriots in playoff action right here Sunday on Boston's home for New England Patriots football. 98.5 The Sports Hub. Hey, listen, if you've got to go, we understand, but make sure you bring the Sports Hub app with you so you can hear more of Todger and Hardy.
That's what I want on my tombstone. We weren't here. So far this offseason, the Red Sox have seemingly just done business with the Cardinals, where Chaim Bloom is in charge now. And they got Sonny Gray when we were here when that happened, and I thought it was a good move. They gave up a lot for him, but I thought it was a good move. I like Sonny Gray as a second starter. Maybe you make a move at the deadline, but if you went into a playoff with him as your second starter, I think he's a solid. He's going to be, based on past history, he'll be healthy. He doesn't throw hard. I mean, he doesn't seem like someone whose arm's going to fall off. I mean, he throws high 80s. He's just like a technician. So whatever. I thought that move was good. I thought it was good. We were not here when they got Wilson Contreras, and he's not very good. He's fine. He's a major league hitter.
He's 20 home runs with good defense at first base, right?
Yeah, he's a used to be a catcher for a long time, and then they moved him to first. I think he's a pretty good defensive first baseman.
Probably going to hit cleanup for this team.
Yeah, that's not ideal.
No.
So for a
not.
team that's looking to compete in the AL East, and an AL East that now is getting loaded, and you have Baltimore making big moves, and Toronto's no joke.
Still not done either,
right?
Toronto.
And so Contreras hitting cleanup is not ideal. Contreras is a major league bat who can play first base for you. He's an upgrade probably from what you had, but it's not. That's not a needle mover. And you know me with baseball, I'm not a huge. You gotta go crazy. I mean, you're not going to be the Dodgers, but Contreras is a decent pickup, but not to hit cleanup for you.
For a team that said last month, 6 weeks ago, we're looking for a right-handed power bat in the middle of the lineup. This is not the answer.
No, I would agree with that. And so Alex Bregman signed with the Chicago Cubs, Jonathan.
Yes, 5 years, $175 million. full no trade clause, and according to Ken Rosenthal and others, about $70 million or a little more of that $175 million is deferred.
Now, there is some things about this Bregman deal that I would take a little solace in if you're a Red Sox fan, in that the Tigers didn't go after him, and the Tigers desperately need a third baseman, and they're, in the business of trying to win, and they were in on him and offered him more money when you got him, and he didn't go to them, and they seem to be out on him this time. So I just, sometimes when there are teams that we're in that are not in, and it's not financial, I wonder, how big a deal it is. But go ahead.
Real quick, the context is different. I mean, you traded Rafael Devers to make room for this guy, to make sure there were no problems.
Oh, I hate the Devers trade.
No. But you screwed up the Devers trade to make sure that you gave Bregman the job. You spent most of the season lauding, he's a great leader in the clubhouse, and now less than a year later, he's gone. You have nothing to show for it, really. And as we've talked about multiple times on this show, you've gotten actively worse.
Yes.
Now, not only because you let Bregman go, but because of the return for Devers, which is atrocious.
And that's the thing, is that the problem is not only that you're not spending money, and they're actively not spending money.
Hell yes, they're not spending money.
They're actively not spending money. That is 100% true.
But just a quick aside, the pivot is Bo Bichette. There's no way they spend money on Bo Bichette.
Well, I mean, do you want Bo Bichette? Where is he going to play?
Second base. That's where it is. I'd rather have Story play second and Bichette play short. That's just me.
I don't want Bichette in the field. But anyway, so I'd actually rather have him at second base. But the thing is that not only that, but you're making bad moves. Like your trades are awful.
Yes.
I mean, you gave up a lot for Sonny Gray. Now, I guess that's fine. But anyway, what do I know about baseball? It's not ever like I'm around it. I have very limited experience in the game. It only dominates my entire existence. But nonetheless, what do the real baseball heads have to say?
Yeah, the experts. I mean, Fred, your experience with the game is anecdotal. But we have people here at the radio station who live it, they breathe it, they consume it 365.
That's right.
These are the opinions I'm interested in. No offense, not yours.
And no offense taken. I mean, these are cottage industry guys. This has now become like a niche. If you are like super into Major League Baseball, you have carved out a little role for yourself.
Yeah.
So Tyler Milliken says, anger, disappointment, mismanagement. I can't do an imitation of him, so you'll bear with me. Anger, disappointment, mismanagement. There's not a single positive to the Rafael Devers trade. I agree. Return blows. That's absolutely true. The guy you created the problem for is gone. You paid the QO.
Qualifying offer.
Oh, and after lifting Bregman up as the leader, there's a major leadership void. He gives it a 0 out of 10.
No offense to Fred.
That's right. I would take great offense. So let's skip away to a guy I can do an imitation.
Yes.
I am James Stewart then says, I heard the offer from the Red Sox. Yeah. Woo. I heard the offer. I picked up my phone and I did a little dial-in. And I heard the offer from the Red Sox to Alex Bregman was a lot like a cage match between Snuka and Don Morocco.
Yeah.
A travesty. It was 4 years, $120 million, plus a mutual option for a fifth year at 35. Also, Sam Kennedy counted last year's 90 games as part of the Bregman contract.
Don't go breaking kayfabe.
And then Chris Catello says, sources tell me that Red Sox offered Bregman a 5-year deal at a reasonably competitive average annual value. It was financially short of the Cubs, quite obviously. Two other sticking points, lack of no trade clause and deferral schedule out decades. Bregman wanted a long-term deal, got it, and security over his future, got it, because he wanted to establish roots somewhere, a narrative that has been clear since June. The no-trade clause was important that way. The deferral schedule is a big factor, too. So he's saying that what James said was incorrect.
Yes.
All right.
These f***ing cowards.
That's right, Cotillo. You backstabbed me. I'm going to trip you when you go up the ladder to get the big bag of money.
Yeah.
And then Matt McCarthy comes in.
Oh, good.
Now here's McCarthy. He says, I believe this. The Sox will tell you they offered a 5th year, but a mutual option. It's a fake 5th year. Just like Claudette's hay fever, it only comes up when there's something she don't want to do.
And there's chores to be done.
Yeah, you got dust allergy because those curtains are so dang dusty that you can't even get them on the porch to hit them with a paddle.
I need to dust them Venetian blinds. I said, girl, when you ever been to Venice?
I said, you get Rosemary to do them. She's in there making tomato sandwiches. I don't know what you're up to.
Thank you.
I believe this. The Sox are like magnolias. They don't sprout until June. The Sox will tell you they offered a 5th year, but mutual option is a fake 5th year. Nowhere close to what the market determined Bregman is worth. Sox are way off again.
That's gross. That's disgusting.
Matt McCarthy says, Ian Brown says the Red Sox will finish their 2026 regular season with a 3-game series at Fenway against ... Alex Bregman's Cubs. Well, mark that in your calendars. Yeah. That's going to, woof! You want to talk about a real bloodbath. Matt McCarthy, in response to that, says, the Sox have been eliminated from playoff contention by them.
He's a dumbass at the plate.
Matt McCarthy says, in parentheses, heavy sarcasm on this one.
I don't want to be misread, so I'm gonna lay it out ahead.
I'm just gonna tell you because you can't see my hands, which tell the story when I'm being sarcastic. I'll jazz hands them out. I'll put some razzmatazz on this son bitch.
This is delicious.
I'll tell you. We were having a salon outside, and I said to Maurice, I said, "Get this. Here comes sarcasm." I said, "Here, that seersucker suit is too tight." Matt McCarthy says, "Heavy sarcasm on this one." They'll Red Sox management in parentheses.
Why don't you see Red Sox management?
They'll parentheses Red Sox management. What? Why didn't I do what?
Why didn't you just say Red Sox management?
Instead of they'll.
Because I've been inspired by Mr. Oscar Wilde, who was a big fan of parentheses. It's a way to have fun with language. They'll, Red Sox management, will be right on the Bregman contract. It's a bad deal. And they can tell us how right they were about it when they finish in 4th place because they can't hit a lick. I didn't make that up. That is right. That is on there. That is as written right there. They can't hit a lick. The Red Sox management will be right on the Bregman contract. It's a bad deal. And they can tell us how right they were about it when they finish in 4th place because they can't hit a lick. And will lead the American League in errors.
Can't hit a lick. Can't hit. They can't throw. They couldn't hit a bull in the ass with a fistful of rice from 3 feet away. They can't run the bases. They couldn't pull a greasy string out of a cat's ass. They're not fast enough. They're not strong enough. They can't throw or the lick.
I'll tell you what, I was strolling through the Tupelo yesterday, and I said to myself, I'll tell you what. We might as well just burn these trees down and use them for wood so they can just break some bats when they're not getting no hits.
Hi, Sam.
Hi, Sam.
Thank you.
It's your worst effing nightmare. Matt McCarthy in a press conference. Yes, it's true. Give you a moment to adjust.
Mm-hmm. Well, not your worst nightmare.
Yeah.
There are worse nightmares.
The worst one, yeah.
Yeah, we text. It's nothing to me. Yes, Sam Kennedy. Yes, take off your readers and look me in the eye. It's your worst nightmare. Matt McCarthy in present and accounted for. So they are very upset. But there you go. Alex Bregman is now a Chicago Cub. And the Chicago Cubs in a very tough division. Very tough division.
So are the Red Sox.
No, I'm kidding. The Chicago Cubs are not in a tough division.
Oh, all right.
I mean, they have the Brewers.
It is funny, though.
Brewers' lifespan on these things is very short.
This all went down the day after Fenway Fest.
That's true. They announced the Cubs announced the Bregman signing about, I don't know, 6 hours after FanFest ended.
Yeah.
It's pretty remarkable how that all happened. I would have loved for them to announce it the night before or just before.
Fortuitous timing for the Red Sox
Very
to be able
fortuitous.
to. Oh, man.
They
boy.
probably would have canceled that thing. I would think they would have canceled it. They would have said, "Oh, John Henry can't make it here," or something. Canceled FanFest if that Bregman signing was announced before it.
They probably negotiated. It's like, look, we know this is going to happen.
Yeah, we'll pay you $5 million to announce it tonight.
Seriously, we will do whatever you want. You're not coming here. You're going to the Cubs. We'll give you money anyway. Just convince everyone just not to announce until after this thing is over.
John, I have a question.
Yes.
Is it a different scenario? Because the rumors that I were reading is that the Red Sox thought they were in on Bregman until the very end. So perhaps they were expecting to announce him at FanFest.
Well, they have the vapors
and all that.
They thought they were in on that.
Yeah.
No.
That's the thing. The Red
They're
Sox.
screwy as a loon. If they thought that.
Yep. A.J. Przinsky said that yesterday. That the Red Sox made an offer to Bregman. They were convinced.
A.J. all jabronis.
Yep. And the Sox said, "This is our offer. Take it or leave it." Bregman said, "You know what? I have a better offer." And the Red Sox didn't believe him. And he said, as recently as a few days ago, he's like, no, I have an offer that's better than you. You need to come to the table. Red Sox didn't believe him. And then finally, at the last minute, they upped their offer to what they landed on, which is about $15 million short.
A.J. Przinsky, methinks he's the horses behind.
Why does the organization keep doing this?
I don't know.
Why?
Yeah.
Why? Thank you. Thank you for that. I know I just blew your mind. So I'll give you time to recoup.
We need Milliken to interview Craig Breslow at some point. The doublespeak between the two of them would be fantastic to listen to.
Kilometers.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. Everyone's very upset about Alex Bregman. My heart goes out to all of you. It's too painful. It's very painful. He was the difference. He was the difference between everything going super right. You could have had Devers.
It's another brick in the wall. That's the problem.
Devers could be playing third for you.
Yes.
Or,
you could have had Roman Anthony and Rafael Devers at the top of your lineup.
Yeah, but you chose not to do that. This Bregman thing could have just been conversation, and you could have just easily let him go and kept the kid that could be very well a Hall of Famer.
No, you need to rotate those four outfielders through the DH slot. That's what's important.
Or deal with a team doesn't have your ex-GM.
I think, you know what? The more this happens, the more I think that no other team will deal with them. I think that this is what they could get because they had a familiar face.
Well, I think Chaim Bloom said, "These are the guys I want. You have them. I'm very familiar with them. And if you would like these guys, and listen,
the Red Sox aren't only not signing people; they're not in trade talks giving other teams what they want. So they're going to St. Louis and saying, "Take these guys," and Bloom's like, "Sure." No problem.
Well, I mean, Chaim Bloom's marching orders are right up his alley. I mean, Chaim Bloom's in heaven because, his orders are to play only kids.
Yeah, you want me to stock the farm system, look under every rock for every street free agent I can find, and not touch the major league roster for 3 years?
Fine.
Perfect. Yeah. I could do that.
I mean, if you would like Arenado, he's available. There's
I'm not going to not only not get in trouble from you, I'm going to be praised
for it.
Get
a raise.
Great.
Yeah.
All right, good.
You can get Brendan Donovan. Now, that's going to cost you. Now, Brendan Donovan, that'll cost you
Why
some
not?
money.
They need a second baseman, and St. Louis is the only team they're dealing with.
Yeah, but you're going to have to pay Donovan, and you're going to have to pay Donovan a lot of money, and you're going to have to give up a lot for him. Well, because I think Chaim Bloom would keep Donovan.
If you have to pay Brendan Donovan, then you're not trading for him.
Yeah, so I'm guessing that's why they didn't trade for Brendan Donovan and they traded for Contreras.
That's probably true.
Because Donovan is someone I think that the Cardinals will keep. I think that there's a chance, if anyone cares, that they will. They feel he's worthy of keeping. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Hardy's good friend Mike Dussault. We'll talk about the Patriots in just a moment.
strength of schedule. What does a win last night just mean for the team and mean for the season?
Means we get to keep.
A writer and content producer for Patriots.com. He's good friends with Hardy. They've worked together many times. Mike Dussault, hello.
Good morning.
Hi, Deuce.
Good morning. Are you relieved to know that there's a 30% chance that the Patriots make the Super Bowl?
I'm very relieved. I like those numbers. That's great.
I'm relieved to have a defensive guru on with us this morning.
Right?
To talk me. All right. Well, let's take him in order here. Why don't you just take a victory lap on your precious Patriots and their defensive performance on Sunday? Because that was something I don't think we've seen it this season, them win a game that way with a defensive performance like that.
No, we haven't. And the big question going in for me was, these guys are going to come back, or how healthy are they going to be? But Spillane came right back in, and those guys just, I mean, up front, they were all over the place and playing with that aggression that they play with early in the season, all over the quarterback. It was awesome.
This Spillane was a difference maker for you?
How many sacks did Spillane have? So.
Did he lead the team in tackles?
I don't even know. Did he?
Obviously, it wasn't that dominant if you don't know how many tackles he had.
Spillane is out there, then it just frees up somebody else.
They run away from Spillane.
It's kind of like an outfielder in the majors. You just don't run on him. You don't run on the outfielder.
That's right. You hold right where you are.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously the defense getting the lion's share of the credit, as they should. The pressure that they applied to Herbert, but the downfield coverage also was such that they could send guys. They could send guys without disguising a whole lot, and Herbert still had nowhere to go with the ball.
Yeah, that's really my point, is that this defense played together and all in sync, whether it was the back end, whether it was the pass rush. Everything was clicking, and I'm not going to give Spillane all the credit, but just having all those pieces back, I think you saw this performance from this defense that you haven't really seen since the middle of the season. Now, it's going to be another good challenge this week, I think, with with CJ Stroud. But overall, it wasn't really expected. I haven't seen that kind of performance all year from the defense. Reminded me a little bit of Super Bowl 53, where you knew one play was going to make it, and luckily Drake May made that throw to Hunter Henry to put it away.
2 solo tackles for Robert Spillane on Sunday. So that's one. That's 6 tackles in all. He assisted on 4 of them.
It's 2 more than you had, John.
That's
I'd like to see you do it.
I can't argue that. You're absolutely correct. So, Mike, here's the question. Christian Gonzalez is one of the 2 most important people on that defense. You didn't have him in the fourth quarter. It turns out you didn't need him because Justin Herbert was seeing ghosts everywhere and couldn't handle a blitz. But if you do not have him for this coming weekend, regardless of who the quarterback is, it's a big problem for this team.
It is, and we'll see what happens with Nico Collins, because he might be in concussion protocol as well. I thought Gonzalez was really good, this week, and some talk this year about, do they need him? Is this the right scheme? I think Christian Gonzalez proved his worth in that game, and to see him go out at the end, it adds a huge level of uncertainty going into this game. You'd love to have him. I mean, this is all hands on deck, but again, if Nico Collins isn't there, maybe it's not quite as bad. But
is it a wash?
Yeah, that's what we were kind of talking about at the beginning of the show. It seems like kind of a wash.
Maybe a little bit, but I mean, when you look at Vrabel saying we need our best players to make plays here in the playoffs, this is when the big dogs come out in January, and Christian Gonzalez is one of your big dogs. So I'm not going to say it's a total wash because you lose him. It's going to have an impact, no question, but maybe it's mitigated a little bit if Collins isn't out there.
No, the Texans have a good defense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. End sentence. No. So you saw last night. To get over 5 fumbles from your quarterback and a pick, and still win by 24 or 24 points.
24 points.
That was a mathematical thing. I actually knew the score. I just couldn't do the math.
It's reminiscent of the Patriots game. You turned the ball over 5 times. And,
yeah, right, exactly. But they won.
But they won.
The Patriots lost in unforgivable fashion when they gave up the ball 5 times. You saw the left side of the line. The Chargers abused them. Is it too obvious that this is going to be very difficult?
No question, it's going to be very difficult. And I mean, over the years, I've developed a theory that there's only really maybe 1, 2, 3 defenses in the league that are really that good, that can really impact a game and take things over. Otherwise, maybe your defense is good enough and they make the plays at the right time. This Houston Texans team is one of those defenses. And you saw it last night. They don't do much that's complex, but they've got 2 edge rushers that are big and athletic and quick. And they are going to give the edges of this Patriots defense all that they can handle, or offense, all that they can handle. I'd look for Josh McDaniels to get creative. I don't know if it's exactly the same as, back in the early 2000s when you had Mathis and Freeney flying off the edges, a little different style. But they're going to have to work around those guys. And just that whole defense, I mean, they fly to the ball, and they're not really trying to confuse you. They're just trying to beat you up one-on-one.
So, and that's my question, I guess, is how are they able to do it, Mike? You just mentioned they've got 2 really good edge rushers, but watching the game last night and frankly watching them for big chunks of this season, they play like they've got 15 guys on the field on defense. Yep. There's 3 guys around the ball wherever the ball is, whether the quarterback has dropped back and Aaron Rodgers has 2 guys going after him, even when they're only rushing 2 or 3. Whenever the ball does, sail to a receiver, there's 2 guys. It seems like every receiver is fighting through double coverage. They've always got multiple guys chasing down the quarterback. Are they able to do it because the edge rushers are so good, or are they that much better than the secondary, or vice versa, or are they like the Patriots were on Sunday, just playing complementary throughout the game?
They're just talented across the board. I mean, Lassiter, on the back end with Stingley, 2 great corners, Peter in the slot, and they rotate guys all through that defensive front, and then they don't have to play a lot of guys. The second level linebackers are super fast. They fly to the ball. And I think, reading a little bit this morning about the defensive, just they don't do a lot. They look at you and they say, we're more talented than you. Our 2 edge rushers are going to make plays. And, you saw last night, the Steelers were in 3rd and long all day long. And that is just something you cannot afford to get into. I wonder if Drake May, maybe with his legs.
That's what I'm
pockets,
worried. That's what I would be worried about. But they use 5 defensive backs, it seems, a lot. Mm-hmm. It seems like it's like a 4 linemen, 2 linebackers, and 5 defensive backs, and does that mitigate his ability to run? Like when you have got that many guys on the second level, does that kind of take away the ability to pop a big run as a quarterback, or does that help? What's your opinion on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think you saw the Steelers really trying to get their run game going just to stay out of those 3rd and long situations. But I don't know how much you can design runs for Drake May. There might be opportunities.
Or just his scrambling, though.
Like his scrambling
right, yeah.
and even moving the pocket. You saw a little bit of that last night. Rodgers not as mobile as he used to be, and you could just tell, man, it's hard for them to escape this pressure right now. So I felt great confidence going into this playoffs with Josh McDaniels. He's been around forever. He knows, he's seen it all on defense, but this is just one of those times where, Vrabel says all the time, it's about 70% talent, 30% scheme. Well, these guys have every bit of that 70% of talent. And, I really look at Will Campbell going against these 2 guys off that edge. It's going to be a huge challenge for the rookies on that left side of the ball. And even the guys inside are really talented, and they'll rotate those through, and they're all capable of getting upfield and making plays.
Go back to Will Campbell for a second. Obviously, he was hurt for a while, came back, and then you see Khalil Mack push him back into the quarterback 4 or 5 times last weekend. Will Anderson's much better than that. And I'm wondering, is Campbell 100%? Is he anywhere close to it at this point?
Yeah, I mean, he came off of IR and was not even on the injury report anymore. He was a full participant. So I think all signs are pointing to that he is as healthy as anybody is when you get to this time of the season. But again, playoffs are a different level of intensity, and hopefully that experience showed Will, a little bit of experience getting out there and seeing what the level of intensity is. But no question, look, everybody's going to be talking about it all week long, these edge rushers, what they're going to do and what the Patriots are going to have to do. So I'd expect they'll be ready. They'll have a plan to help out when they need to off the edges.
Yeah, and if C.J. Stroud has the kind of game that he had last night, I think I like the Patriots' chances a lot.
He was hit deer in the headlights there for a while. That interception in the red zone, I just took a look at it again. That is as bad a decision as you can make.
Well, you know how you get on May, he was trying to do too much when he fumbled. wasn't even in the same ballpark of what C.J. Stroud was doing. Like,
man,
it was like you wanted to just take Stroud and go, dude, your defense is like, you don't have to do this.
Give him a little help.
Yeah, just hang on to the ball because he would be like moving up in the pocket and hanging on to the ball, and you're just like, dude, just get rid of the ball, punt. You win by punting. You flip the field, you win. You would just Stroud doesn't have to do a lot, right? Like you just you get if you score 2 touchdowns and you get in
on offense,
and you get yourself in position, like you'll kick a couple field goals, right?
Theoretically, if Houston scores 20, you have to feel they feel extremely confident that they win the game.
And so just flip the field, like at worst case scenario, like pin them. We'll be fine. Just get us in field goal range, basically. Just get us in field goal range and get rid of the ball. Just don't turn the ball over and we'll be all right. And he was doing anything but that last night. He was really pressing.
Yeah, you're right. And you wonder how much can the Patriots defense do to really affect this game. That's why I'd point to you got to try to find ways to get that hidden yardage, find hidden points, field position on punts, punt returns, getting over on their side of the field. Yeah. They need to find a way, any way they can, to grind out that extra yardage. Because offensively, it's just points are going to be such a premium. I mean, you said it. You get to 20, you're doing something great against this Houston defense. So, love to see some turnovers being forced. The defense has to continue to play like they played last week against Herbert and the Chargers, be all over C.J. Stroud, and they've got to get those mistakes. That's how they win this game, is forcing him into mistakes and then translating them to points.
And just real quick on a final note, I thought the Patriots were good about just taking points on Sunday. Is that the same strategy against Houston?
100%.
Yeah, I would agree. I would think that, yeah.
I mean, we lost our minds. I mean, I just don't get in the first half of a game, trying to force the issue and trying to pick up 7. I mean, these games have mostly been low scoring and points are at a premium. You get a chance early in the game to get 3. I think you have to take it against this defense. It's just every single point is going to count. Like I said, 20 is the number you're trying to get to.
Well, Mike, 2 of these playoff games have come down to really a missed extra point, because without a missed extra point, these teams are within 3 and they're kicking a field goal to tie at the end of games.
Yeah.
So, yes, points are at a huge premium.
Yeah.
I can't believe the Chargers didn't just take the points.
That's the thing.
In that first drive.
The Patriots, who have a really good kicker, too. And that's the thing. You take advantage of that at this time of year.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It just, you got gifted 3 points. Just take them. Take the points. So, all right.
I mean, and just real quick, I mean, the Patriots, they couldn't stop anybody in the red zone all year, and then they get 2 red zone stops at the beginning. So that's playoff football. You got to step up and do things that maybe you didn't do during the year.
Jones, Jones gets Herbert down on the 2, and I think that's when you make that decision, is that there's no guarantee we can pick up 2 yards here.
Right.
All right. Mike Dussault, good stuff. Patriots.com is the website, and have fun on Sunday.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you. We do appreciate it. All right.
He's so right about, just real quickly here, like taking advantage of punt returns, kick returns. I was looking for anomalous things with the Texans, like who scored points on them. And the only team recently to put up any points of any note were the Jaguars, who scored 29. Like, how did they score 29 points on this team? Well, 7 points came from a punt return on a touchdown on a punt return. Mm-hmm. So you're gonna need some luck, and you're at the very least gonna need some good field position when the ball is changing hands like that.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great game. It's Patriots right now, a 3-point favorite. Seems about right. It's at New England. They've proven themselves to be very steady. And let's face it, Houston's won too many games in a row. You can't win them all.
I saw that stat. A team with a winning streak like Houston's has never won a Super Bowl. Did you see that? 8 or 9 game winning streak entering the playoffs have never won a Super Bowl.
That's right. You need that late season loss.
Mm-hmm.
You need to sprinkle.
You don't want
to
peak too soon.
That's absolutely true. That's why. Right. That's why they lost their first 3 games. They said we don't want to peak too soon. Yeah, all right. Very good. We will be back. And I would like to. I want to give Jim Murray some credit. They put a video up that actually made me laugh. I liked it enough. I almost reached out to him, but I don't know him that well. But I do want to play it. Jim Murray was very funny yesterday on Felger and Maz. We'll have that for you in just a moment.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Energy Drinks.
We'll start with the NFL playoffs. Houston won in Pittsburgh last night 30-6. They advanced to the next round. They will come to Foxborough to play the Patriots Sunday at 3. The other game, Rams at Chicago Sunday night. Saturday games in the NFL, Buffalo at Denver, followed by San Francisco at Seattle. Mike Vrabel confirmed yesterday Christian Gonzalez is indeed in concussion protocol. Houston top wideout Nico Collins suffered a concussion during last night's win. Pascal Siakam made a push shot with 6.1 seconds left. Indiana beat the Celtics 98-96. Celtics continue their road trip on Thursday night against Miami. And the Bruins continue their homestand tonight against Detroit. Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers have the pregame at 7 and the face-off at 7:30 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the Duncan Women's Beanpot Championship at TD Garden January 20th. Don't miss your chance to see women's collegiate hockey take center ice at TD Garden.
Banter and Hardy. Listen at the end of this segment for a chance to win tickets to the Bruins game tonight. We got those for you. Somewhat important game against Detroit tonight. The Detroit team has been very good. Played overtime last night. All right, so here's the deal. John, you're annoying Hardy with your updates. He has informed me.
Okay, what did I do wrong this time for you?
What type of shot did Siakam hit at the end of the game?
A push shot in the lane.
Okay, so
kind of a one-handed
Yeah, I
leaner.
understand what you're trying to say, but you're really insisting on this whole push shot
Okay.
thing. And Fred rightly pointed out, it's like, well, he's a play-by-play guy. You know, he just can't say made a shot or banked a shot or whatever. It's that extra added color detail that you keep giving, the push shot.
So it's not that I'm describing it wrong. It's that I'm adding a little to it.
Yes.
That's what bothers you.
Yes.
I see. Okay.
Okay. Can you argue for a second longer? Because we need to get audio.
No problem. So my description, even though it's right, bothers you because I spent an extra eighth of a second doing it.
It's just you don't hear push shot used commonly. It's not something that gets said a lot, and you're saying it a lot.
I see.
So that's
even if it's correct.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. That's kind of an odd thing to be upset about.
Well, I'm not even all that upset. We're just trying to fill a moment here.
Okay.
I got it. Work out some technical difficulties.
He was upset enough to say something during the break, and I did say, well, listen, he's a play-by-play guy.
So clear it bothers you.
What do you want out of him?
Yeah,
all right.
No kidding.
So we'll all agree, now that we can get on the same page and probably, olive branch this thing out, is that we all agree Justin Herbert played poorly, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I found this very funny. So Jim Murray addressed Greg Bedard does not think that that he played poorly.
Really?
Yeah, I have the clip. But
right.
This was up at the Instagram page at 98.5 The Sports Hub. I thought this was very funny because we are forever being told by the audience, and oftentimes I'm certainly wrong or misinformed. There's no question about it. But it's a constant barrage of you're wrong. And then oftentimes, I mean, there's a reason we have so many writers on is that, they are in the locker room and there are these things, they're breaking down all 22 film. That's not something I'm interested in doing. Maybe they know a lot more than you, but sometimes you're like, I did watch the game. I am familiar. I'm about to be 51 years old. I've watched a lot of football.
Yeah, this wasn't the first game you've ever watched.
Right. Like, there is like a little bit of like knowing what's going on. I've also been doing sports radio since 2009. I've talked to a lot of guys that cover the team. You would think just by sitting here with headphones on, even subliminally, some of it would sink into my head. I can't be that clueless. Now, Bedard's not attacking anyone specifically, but this is pretty funny.
Yeah.
I thought this was funny, and Jim was funny, and that this deserved to be played. Here is a little bit of what happened.
All aboard the excuse train, everyone. Engineered by Greg Bedard, Boston Sports Journal. All aboard.
So he brought a train whistle in, which
Maz's train whistle.
But I did think that was funny. All aboard the train, because what do we know? I mean, we just watched the game. We're idiots.
And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of criticism.
This is Bedard now talking. This is
post-game.
Bedard post-game talking about the play of Justin Herbert, whose team scored 3 points.
And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of criticism of Justin Herbert after this game from certain people on this radio station. He's 0-3, but, you got to look at the circumstances. When you're not getting – you're not getting any help from your weapons. The offensive line started having a tough time, and your offensive coordinator's not helping you out. What do you expect?
All aboard the excuse train, everyone. Engineered by Greg Bedard, Boston Sports Journal. All aboard. Excuse train. Greg Roman stinks as an offensive coordinator. Fine. The offensive line's a sieve. There was plays to be made. I've since shown you clips online. When he has time to throw, he's holding on to the ball too long, or he has tunnel vision on one side of the field, and when he doesn't have time, Justin Herbert freaks the F out like that play we just came back with. But no. All aboard the excuse train. Quarterback, nothing to see here. 3 points last night. 3 points? Please. He's part of the problem there. He sucks in the playoffs. Fact. But primitive Jim brain no understand your futuristic film breakdown. Jim only know good play, bad play, and fire. Scary, Oh, come on with this. How can you defend him after last night? He stinks.
Greg Bedard will be in tomorrow for a Big Boy Tuesday to further dissect the film and analyze with Big Jim over there. I'm looking forward to it. Me too.
But it's just primitive brain. No understand. Like, dude, I mean, they weren't getting any pressure on him in the first half, and he was freaking out. What is there not to understand? All right, so what is Greg Roman all of a sudden calling plays in reverse? I mean, he couldn't. There was nothing he could do in that game. That it's such a base thing to say that he played poorly. That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. So there's a story that LaShawn, the running back from Tampa, that was on the Super Bowl team that Brady was on. Real quick. So there's this story he just told about how they would do these meetings with the coaches, and then Brady would call his own.
Yes, I saw that
okay,
video.
Okay,
yes.
let me get it out. So Brady would call his own meetings with the receivers, the running back, skill position players, like tight ends and everyone.
Yes.
And he would go, all right, they're telling you this, but this is wrong. This guy does this. This guy can't backpedal. This guy has this deficiency. And then they would go out and they won the Super Bowl. So that's an extreme example, but a quarterback can overcome a lot. Like, you mean to tell me that Lamar Jackson's had a perfectly called game every time that that the Ravens have won? That,
not only
busting 80-yard runs was in some way on a scramble was some incredible offensive strategy.
And I do understand Bedard's point. If you've got a crap OC and a crap offensive line.
But the offensive line was fine in the first half.
And I agree with you. And I don't believe that all those things, were true for the entirety of the season. Now, did everyone have a bad game? Perhaps. But more to my point is, there are plays that happen like this every single week in the NFL where a bad play is called and the offensive line blows an assignment and receivers aren't open downfield and the quarterback does not cough up the ball or do something stupid. And Justin Herbert made bad play after bad play after bad play on Sunday. And you don't go back and dissect those plays necessarily. It's like, well, how did he ever get out of it? Because some quarterbacks can handle the situation. Justin Herbert handled none of them on Sunday night. And why is it not okay to just come out and say that?
And by the way,
he didn't handle anything well, nothing.
The Chargers made the playoffs, and their offensive line has been hurt for a long time. Like, Herbert's managed to put together wins and put up a lot of points against teams with that offensive line.
Now for Jim's sake, he says Herbert sucks, and that every quarterback
he sucks in the playoffs.
Pretty much sucks.
Sucks in the playoffs. He's mediocre. He was mediocre during the regular season.
My point is that this notion that everyone is very primitive in their analysis, just in its base analysis.
Jim only know good play, bad play, and fire.
Yeah, that like you don't like. Just wait until let me get my hands on it. Well, you just watched the game like we did. You haven't watched any film. Like today, you've watched the film, fine. But your analysis after
is oftentimes Bedard's go-to statement in that postgame. It's like, I haven't watched the film yet.
Right, but which is great for the radio. But the thing is that like you just saw what everyone else saw. You're just under the assumption.
But he didn't need to watch. He didn't need to watch the film to immediately, start defending him.
Right.
That required no film analysis.
Like you knew immediately that the offensive coordinator, like something was off, or the skill position players weren't trying. Like they all stopped trying.
Yeah.
The receivers just all stopped trying.
No, there's a track record. There's a track record of a mediocre regular season and 3 playoff games now where you've had a good look at Justin Herbert. Who are you blaming for the 4-interception fiasco last year?
Come on. This isn't the 75 Steelers defense that he played against. I mean, the Patriots have a good defense. It's not the Ravens from the Super Bowl year. It's not the 85 Bears. I mean, come on. Let's be honest. 3 points against a good defense. This is not an all. I know Spillane's very good, but this is not the 85 Bears.
There's 2 solo tackles.
All right. Well, listen, it's not all about tackles. It's about being in gaps and things of that nature. If you broke down the film, you'd have a better analysis.
My fault.
All right. So we'll be back in just a moment.
Jim only know good play, bad play, and fire.
More Toucher and Hardy on the way.
fourth quarter. They won in Pittsburgh last night 30-6, and as a result, they come to Gillette Stadium for a Sunday afternoon at 3 p.m. kickoff time. The winner heads to the AFC Championship game. The Rams visit Chicago Sunday night. On Saturday, top-seeded Denver hosts Buffalo, and then it's the NFC top-seed Seattle hosting San Francisco. Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel told the media yesterday Christian Gonzalez is indeed in concussion protocol. He left Sunday night's playoff win over the Chargers in the fourth quarter. Vrabel also added the environment he sets for the Patriots at this time of year, very important.
I want them to enjoy coming to work. I want them to embrace the hard work and all the effort that goes into it. Then I want them to enjoy playing together, playing with a style, and having their own personalities.
In other NFL news, former Baltimore head coach John Harbaugh has informally met with both Atlanta and the New York Giants as he begins to look for a new job. Celtics were without Jaylen Brown last night. They lost in Indiana 98-96. Derek White missed a three at the buzzer that would have won it. Peyton Pritchard, 23 points in a loss. The Celtics visit Miami on Thursday night. Getting back to Brown, he was fined $35,000 by the NBA for criticizing the officials after a loss to San Antonio over the weekend. And the Bruins host Detroit tonight. Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers have the pregame at 7 and the face-off at 7:30 right here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Catches Law. At Catches, they specialize in helping those who have been injured not only from a one-time incident, but from a lifetime of hard work and labor. Does this sound like you? Visit CatchesLaw.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston Home for Sports 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8:30.
New England plays here.
Down the right side, there's a separation. Touchdown pass. Yes. Perfect dive from Drake May.
98.5 The Sports Hub. Half toucher.
Dressed like a gorilla.
Half Hardy.
A big, beautiful ball of flame.
And a whole lot of Boston sports.
And I have had many offers to become an insider.
Yeah, I mean, we did a lot of work on Milt coming out, like a lot of teams, but I would say that everything that we thought of him coming out is exactly what we saw in Philadelphia and then saw here. And so, I think his consistency has been really good, his leadership, and certainly has come up in big moments.
We are Toucher and Hardy. You can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube for all of that. I neglected to give away these Bruins tickets, so caller number 10 to the contest line, 617-931-0985 will score a pair of tickets to the Garden tonight as the Bruins take on the Detroit Red Wings. It's game day in Boston tonight at 7:30. The Boston Bruins face the Detroit Red Wings at TD Garden. Visit bostonbruins.com/tickets to lock in your spot and get down to Causeway Street. It's a national game this evening. Andrew Callahan is the Patriots reporter columnist for the Boston Herald. Andrew is brought to you by Ramjack New England, your local foundation repair experts. Visit them at ramjack.com. Hello, Andrew.
Good morning.
How was Sunday evening for you? Did you get through it okay? Did you make your deadlines and such?
My guy, Doug Kyde, was the only one with a deadline, so I had a great time.
You were able to party and everything up there.
I was able to party alone in the press box till about 3:15 in the morning, file my column, and walk home. Very quiet, cold night. Very peaceful.
You walk home from there?
Oh, no, sorry, back to my car.
Oh, I was going to say.
Wow. I got an apartment down the street or just a tent outside.
That's the dream, is to have an apartment right across the street from Gillette. That's the retirement plan right there. Just get me a small little place so I can just stroll over.
I might investigate just renting a room. You know how like
Glenn Scott.
No. I think he might own his own condo there in the North End. Who used to live at the Four Seasons when they were coaching? Doc Rivers, I think, lived at the Four Seasons.
Okay.
So could you just essentially move into the hotel there at Patriot Place and just live there?
Sure.
Yeah.
It's not an easy place to get a room. If you ever looked into a game day investigation of getting a room there, because it is the hotel, to my knowledge.
No.
There's not a lot of hotel space around that area. All right, Andrew, we know 3 o'clock on Sunday, the Houston Texans are coming to town. What are your thoughts on this matchup?
Biggest test of Drake May's career. And I'm not sure it's close, which that phrase for me is really tired and useless, the way that we use it so often. But look, the Texans defense is one where they're not trying to trick you at all. Like, they're like, we're not even going to waste our energy. We're good enough to line up. It'll be quarters or cover 2 on early downs. We're going to play some man, maybe blitz occasionally on third, and that's it. We're going to line up and kick your ass. And they've been second in DVOA. They've been first in EPA against the pass, third in takeaways, fourth in yards per play. Pick a metric, they're near the top. And I get that Drake May, did well against them last year. But think about how different the Patriots are 15 months ago from when that game was. The Texans are different too, and this defense is as good as we've really seen in years outside of maybe Seattle this season.
Yeah, it's something that we talked to Mike Dussault about earlier. John and I were talking about before the show. They just seem to be everywhere, and they seem to have multiple guys rushing the quarterback. They look like they're blitzing when they're not blitzing because there are guys in the backfield. Like, I only saw 2 guys rushing at the start of this play. How are they both in the backfield already and surrounding the quarterback? And when they do get the ball away, there's 2 guys on every receiver. They seem to be playing with more than 11 players on the field at all times.
Well, and that's the beauty of that style of defense. Like, you need a lot of talent just to line up and say, hey, here's our play sheet. This is what we're in. We're going to beat you anyway. But when you don't have to spend a lot of time on disguise or a bigger playbook, you get to focus in a lot more on what the opponent's doing that week. And every combination and look and concept and tendency. And so not only are they fast physically, because those are the players that they've assembled, but mentally it's very quick, the recognition. So, yeah, there's a lot of that. Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson, I think it's 27 combined sacks in the regular season off the edges, big problems. And then Sheldon Rankins gets us, scoop and score last night for them up the middle. But, like, every single level, Jalen Petrie could have been an all-pro at safety. They've got linebackers there who, just to your point,
and they're fast too. They remind me, like, not to make it about the Lions, but the Lions, for their poor defenses over the years, you could see at least those guys are moving and they're swarming the ball. Now, would they be able to make a tackle when they got there? Rarely. Were they in position at the right time? No, but at least they're moving quick after the fact. These guys are moving quick when they need to, or if they are trying to chase down a quarterback who's escaped the pocket. They're fast, and it's a nightmare. It's just an absolute nightmare.
The old coaching saying is, like, if you're going to make a mistake, make it fast. Fly in there and kind of screw something up for the offense on your way to screwing up yourself, and that's what they do. They also don't really miss tackles, so this is not going to be, let's just put them in space, early in the second half against L.A., which is also decent tackling defense. Ramondre Stevenson gets this 10-yard gain on a little swing pass, one-on-one along the sideline. He's kind of pinned. Makes a man slip, gets a first down. And for an offense that then hit only 3 points at halftime, like, that's 10 yards is good, but it's also kind of invigorating to be like, okay, we can move the ball. And there are chinks in the armor here. The red zone defense for Houston isn't particularly good, but you're watching that game last night, and even though C.J. Stroud looks like a mole for the Steelers or a sports book somewhere, you're just going, they're going to wait you out. Because over time, this defense is just going to swarm and suffocate you, and that's exactly what they did.
There are obvious weaknesses, like the Patriots' offensive line, especially the left side, not good on Sunday against very good pass rush. But if you're the Patriots, how do you beat this, or how do you at least make some dents to get the ball down the field? Is it just as simple as Drake May being excellent athletically and getting some extra time by running away from the rush? How do they move the ball down the field?
Yeah, I think there are 2 parts to this. Number one, I mean, your defense has to show up in a way that maybe isn't the way you did against the Chargers, because that was by far their best performance of the season. But if you give up 24 to Houston, it's probably over. So
we were talking about that earlier.
You're holding them ideally to 24 or less. And then offensively, I think they want to control the ball, meaning that you're running the ball well enough that they can't fly backwards or drop back to pass or pin their ears back. You have to stay somewhat balanced. And the interesting piece is, I wrote about this before Sunday, how they've been using a lot more snaps with 6 offensive linemen. And it's a big trend across the league. Then I feel like a dope when they've done that 0 times at halftime. But you look in the second half against L.A., the touchdown to Hunter Henry was a jumbo snap, 42-yarder to Kayshon Boutte. They had a 6-yard run. And Houston majors in this more than anybody else. But what that does is kind of bring a physicality that says, just like Houston, over time we'll wear you down. I think they need to get to that to run the ball, because that's really the only way they've run the ball consistently this season, because their run defense was night and day from the bye week when they changed this to the last 4 weeks when they were the second-best rushing offense in the league during the regular season. And you saw what happened against L.A. Bigger people, bigger problems for the defense. That's how you control the ball against Houston run and then mix in some play action. And if you want some tempo, because they're fast and they're athletic, but sometimes that can tire a defense out as much as running at them over and over again.
We talked about, I thought that Vrabel was good about taking the points when available. You saw teams over the weekend not take points, and it ended up costing them. And 2 games came down, again, to a missed extra point, because if you make that extra point, it's a 3-point game, and you're in a tie field goal situation. That happened in the Green Bay game. That happened in the what was it? There was another game where there was a missed field goal. One of the AFC games, maybe the Jaguar game, but I can't remember. But nonetheless, is this a game where you take points? Is this a game where if you're in the red zone, it's a 4th down, you take the 3 points? Or how do you play it when you're against the defense that this is this good?
So this is a really interesting conversation, because not only is Houston's defense good, where you're saying, like, look, you get down there, you feel lucky. But as I just said, they're not great in the red zone, so that extra chance really might pay off.
Neither are the Patriots, and if looking back, maybe the Chargers should have taken some points.
Well, or just run the ball at the worst short yardage defense in the league.
Right.
But the biggest piece to me that's more interesting than their run defense is so-so, and do you want to take points versus a good defense in Houston? The Houston's red zone defense is so-so. DeMeco Ryans is among the most conservative coaches in the entire league, not going forward on 4th down. And with that defense, you understand why. But Mike Vrabel, as we know, watching those slow substitutions in the 4th quarter when the Chargers are driving, you're like, just take your time getting off the field, is among the best game management coaches we've had ever.
Right. If you don't know what he's talking about, at the end of the game, when it almost seemed like it was in hand already, but the Chargers did have a chance. The Chargers were playing with tempo, and Collinsworth was calling this out too. Yeah. He was saying, like, why are you subbing? Because, like, Keenan Allen would come off the field, and you'd be like, well, now the Patriots, they're holding up the snap, and the Patriots can take all day.
Ref steps in. Nope. Right. Gotta wait.
And Vrabel was saying, take your time, because if you'll recall, be like 15, 20 seconds in these substitutions, and it was masterful.
Yeah, Christian Ellis, you know what? You look tired. Come on over.
Right.
Grab an orange slice. Have a little bit of water.
I'm okay. No. Come on over, but easy.
Easy.
Walk over.
Easy, big fella. But the reason I bring this up is I think the Patriots, like, that's a strength of theirs. It's a weakness for Houston. They have not gone for it in a way that they should have, and when you're more aggressive, you score more points, and you have a safety net of a defense, you go, oh, we didn't get it, we'll stop you anyway. The Patriots need to leverage that strength of Vrabel's, just like every other strength, against this defense. And coaching, I think, is going to matter more on Sunday than maybe any game we've seen.
How does this apply to the 4th down?
So what I'm saying is, I think they're going to need to go for it more often, knowing that Houston won't. And I understand that you want to take points sometimes against the defense. But imagine, though, you go for it on 4th down like you did against Tampa, right at the end of the half. It's a 1-yard completion to Stephon Diggs. They score a touchdown. They won that game by 1 possession. If you go up 6-0 versus this Houston team versus, say, 13-0 at halftime or 13-3, that completely changes the complexion of the game. I think they have to go for it on 4th down the way they've been doing it because, A, it's worked, but, B, Houston's not going to. And if you can widen that gap in terms of game management, that'll swing some, win probability percentage points in your favor.
Do they need to make C.J. Stroud uncomfortable, or is he going to take care of that himself?
I have no idea.
Question.
I mean,
you saw that interception in the red zone last night.
Yes.
Well, he was pressing for no reason.
I say very flippantly, the dude looked like a mole for the other team, or that he owed someone something, a favor. I don't know. That's what it looked like. Just don't throw that ball there, not to mention the fumbles and the drop snaps. And it's not a great offensive line for Houston, but to me, there's no way the Patriots replicate the pressure they got on the Chargers against the Texans. So to me, I think you do count on him to screw up at some point because that's what he's just shown you. But you also can't let him sit back there and give away your coverage the way that the Texans will, because they're going to have to do that because your pass rush is not. I want to see as much different disguise and blitz pressures and fake pressures and all-out pressures that you send at the Chargers. Understand this won't work as well, but that's how we manufacture our hits and our hurries and our sacks because a 4-man rush for this defense is still just not going to get it done over time.
How big if Nico Collins can play, how big a blow is that?
It's especially big where it looks like Christian Gonzalez is at least at risk of missing the game, right? Like imagine Nico Collins is available and they get him against Charles Woods or Marcus Jones. And I like Marcus Jones a lot. Charles Wood played well at the end of the game. But the fact that might even out is a huge break for the Patriots. Again, we'll see. Either guy could return, maybe both do. But what it does is it allows you to play a little bit more downhill because that dude is not just big and strong. He is fast as hell. And that is a big way that they generate a lot of explosive plays. So maybe you pack the middle a little bit more and force CJ to take those shots to other receivers who aren't as well equipped.
All right. Good stuff. Andrew Callahan's here for the hour. We will be back. We can talk a little bit about what happened on Sunday coming right up.
Try to embrace what we do, where we do it, and who we do it with, and we try to enjoy all those things as well. I want them to enjoy coming to work. I want them to embrace the hard work and all the effort that goes into it. Then I want them to enjoy playing together, playing with a style, and having their own personalities.
Hey, we're Toucher and Hardy. Craig Gass, old friend, comedian, going to be in at 9 o'clock. Looking forward to having him in. I'm supposed to have lunch with him, but I got to go to Bedford for this game. I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle both of these things.
Have you told him this? Have you sent him a text saying, maybe not?
Well, he's coming into studio.
No, but
so.
just to kind of prepare him for the fact so he won't let him down the moment he's gone.
I don't know how long. I mean, if he's in town, I could even have dinner with him tomorrow. But I gotta. Today it's too much. I'm an old man. I can't burn it at both ends, baby.
I understand.
I'm gonna need to get my affairs in order before I'm off to Bedford, or I'm gonna drive off the road. Just lacking sleep. I thought I could handle the Sunday night games. I thought it was bigger than this, but it's not true.
So you're happy the game's at 3 instead of 6:30?
No, that doesn't matter to me.
Oh,
6:30 doesn't matter to me, but it's just it sets a precedent, especially coming off vacation. All right, so Andrew Callahan from the Boston Herald is here, and we'll ask you, since Greg Bedard and Jim Murray had a very humorous response to Bedard. Did the Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert, did he play well on Sunday?
No.
Okay.
Oh my God! I do a live podcast Monday night with Mike Giardi, and we recap the game, all the film notes, very nerdy football stuff. And in the first 3 minutes, I go, I need to issue an apology to the haters who were right, because it's both true. The Patriots defense played really well, and Justin Herbert is darting around and looking like he's never seen a defense before.
All right, thank you. All right, so I'm not crazy, because it looked certainly in the second half, they were abusing him. But in the first half, in the first half of the first half, especially when they had the ball in the red zone and things like that, he looked like he was panicking when there was nothing to panic about.
Yes.
Okay. So he was giving up on plays quickly and all these things. These were not illusions.
No, and it was strange, a pocket movement where he's fine. There's roomy. There's time.
Yeah.
He's like, and then bailing, and then also throwing to just really low odds chances, missing receivers downfield. Like, I think it was more the mental stress they put on him in the first half, and then the second half was the physical punishment.
Right. There's no doubt at the second half. They were abusing him.
They were sending 7 guys at him.
Did you feel bad at all?
Yes.
That strip sack that they got?
Yeah, I did feel bad. I mean, I felt like, get yourself off the field. Like, you've lost the game. Protect yourself a little bit. I mean, you're getting absolutely killed.
Those
You
two
can't
hits,
move.
like the one Jennings had, straight up the middle, and then Milton Williams to finish him off.
But you could have almost scripted it, because when you saw the way he played in the first half, that was never going to get better, right? Like, if you're that rattled early in the game before you even get hit, and then when people go, well, he's hurt, well, then I would say, well, then why are they calling designed runs for him? If you don't want him to get hit,
especially near the goal line.
Well, yeah. If you don't, right. If you don't want him to get hit, a good opportunity for that is not having him take contact deliberately. Like, you're putting him in situations where he's in space where he's got to put his head down. And when you call it design quarterback run, he's not sliding.
Call a play where there's a chance he won't get hit.
Right, yeah. He's not sliding at the one on a design quarterback run, right? Like, he's trying to get into the end zone. He's going to lower his shoulder. You know that. So why are you doing that to him? So none of it really made sense. I understand that the play calling might have been very bad, but it seemed like Herbert was frazzled from the very get-go.
And it was all bad. Like, there's some pass plays that I'm looking at, and they're very basic, and every team runs them. And one of them, you call mesh, and it's got 2 short crossing routes where the teaching point is the receivers who are going over the middle and crisscrossing are supposed to high five. That's how close you get. The Chargers, couldn't hit one another with a yardstick. And I'm going, okay, this one's not on Herbert, and some of the protection stuff wasn't. But for a guy who has literally carried the team to an 11-6 record, to the playoffs, despite being hit 129 times, this was not the same guy. Even coming off of a week where he got to rest, he said the hand felt better than it had since he first broke it. And look, I guess that's not a high bar. And look, I didn't feel bad watching, but on replay, that strip sack, man, he gets spun down by Caleb on Chason, who says to us in the press conference after the game, yeah, we felt good about facing the quarterback. Spins him down. Elijah Ponder, helmet right to the chest plate. He's down. Everyone else is celebrating. And Herbert's holding his chest, which if he wasn't 27, you'd think he's having a heart attack.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I did feel bad for the guy. I would like to think I have a little bit of human empathy. I did feel bad for him in that situation. What was your opinion on Milton Williams when he hit him in the head? Did you think that that should have been there should have been a flag on that?
Missed penalty, yeah. And in today's NFL, absolutely.
Right, because I saw Jalen Hurts a flag on a defender when Hurts slid. The guy was in the air. He hit his shoulder to his midsection. Like what are you going to do? You know, you're playing a strong. I mean, Hurts is really strong, and so he can take on a tackler. You see it from this push that they're so fond of. Mm-hmm. He apparently can squat, 850 pounds.
What kind of push is it?
ZZ Top said it best when they said tush. You understand?
Just looking for some.
Yeah, just looking for some tush. Don't mind me, fellas. I'm over here by the jukebox just looking at tush. Looking for the right song to let it sway to fro. But, you see them, you can't hit a quarterback low, so that's an odd rule. So, yes, I would think that, bringing someone down by pounding them in the helmet would be considered a blow to the head. But they were screwing up a lot during that series of plays. There was that weird third down conversion that they came back and said was a first down.
I think there was a time where they reviewed a play inside of 2 minutes, and then they were like, Patriots won't be losing a challenge or a timeout. Like, what?
Yeah.
Of course not.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
There is an inordinate amount of officiating conversations going on that are really killing the pace of the game. And never is it more evident. It's a little bit better in the playoffs because there's not anything else to go to, which doesn't make sense. But it's a fact. If you're watching more than one game at a time, especially even if you're watching three, and you're flipping between them and nothing's going on in any of the games, you're going, oof. They're really pulling something over on us. We're watching a lot of dead time here.
It's like the NBA is the same issue inside of 2 minutes. You're like, okay, people say, I don't need to watch the first 46. Let me just see the last two.
Which will last
and
25.
And then that takes 30.
Yeah. I saw a Pistons game where the Pistons challenged something, and then they were playing the Wizards, and the Wizards coach got pissed off, so he challenged something else in the same play.
Yeah.
And they didn't play basketball for 8.5 minutes. It was 8.5 minutes, regular season game, and it was so bizarre that I sat there for 8.5 minutes, and the announcers were going, this has been going on for 7 minutes, 7.5 minutes. They were counting it down. There's a bit of a problem when everything has to be perfect. There is a bit of a problem.
Think about that. When you can do a mile run like we all had to do in high school, between breaks and timeouts and reviews, something's very wrong. I should at most get like a half mile in if I'm really pushing it.
How many times have you thought of that on the freeway? If you're like, I could get to this next exit quicker by walking.
There are road trips. Doug and I will rent a car very often and drive to the stadium where Buffalo's big time. There are people in the last miles we're going through these neighborhoods that will beat us on foot to the parking spot.
Here's a story. So when I went to Buffalo, we parked in someone's lawn. As you do. Buffalo is in the stadium that they used to play in now. They used to play in was in a neighborhood like with houses. So you park in someone, you pay someone $20, you park in their lawn. We're walking down the road, and my friend's got a Jets jersey on, and guy first flipping him off, and we're walking at the same pace as the car, so he flips him off, but they're like laughing and stuff. So we're like, haha, like what are you gonna do? So then the guy puts his ass out the window, and we're like, okay. And then it ends. It takes so long for us to walk in and for them to drive in. They're driving at the same pace. They're following traffic. His balls are out the window at the end. He's just got his balls out the window. And as you slowly get closer and closer to the stadium, that all ends because the parking gets more and more exclusive. And then when we got into the club section, the Jim Kelly section, where my friend from Buffalo said, get your seats in the Jim Kelly section. They're not overly expensive, but we got in there. And a guy came up to us and he said, hey, welcome. He's like, it's a good thing you guys are up here and not down there with the animals. And that's why that stadium rules. And it won't be the same now because they're pricing all those people out of it. That was like a 10 Vicodin, 75 beer crowd.
Oh, yeah.
That was like I got nothing to lose. That was like we're going in here. We're making a decade out of this game. This is going to be – we saved all our chips for this day. This is a feel no pain
Random
day.
week 7
Guys falling out of the 300 section down like 50 feet and surviving.
I've given my whole life to become the man I am right now for this moment.
Right.
It's a dive bar of a stadium.
Yes.
Where like people look and go,
absolutely,
no, that
right.
sucks. I'm like, have you been? Have you stepped inside? You play a little darts? Yeah, that beer for $4 is pretty good.
And it's a shame because, like, it's not like Buffalo's like an incredibly affluent city, and apparently with these personal seat licenses and everything, I mean, you can run up to $100,000 for like season tickets. I mean, they're really pricing everyone out of it. So that whole vibe of that, which was so great, they were building the new stadium and they had a big ditch. Like a ditch is too small. Like a crater that they had built into the ground.
Yeah.
And so people had taken to jumping into the crater. Why? Well, because you jump into the crater. Do you have the balls to do it?
Chances are I'm going to die today anyway. Might as well die by jumping into this crater.
Well, I told you, my friend used to go to the game with his family, including his parents, and there were games where he'd wake up in a chair and it would be the fourth quarter and he'd still be in the parking lot.
That's the best, that everyone just left him there.
Yeah. Just like, let him sleep. Like, what do you want out of him?
It's like waking a sleeping baby. No.
No, and it's not like he woke up and was alone. I mean, there's 10,000 other people that fell asleep in the parking lot.
Just about the Bills for a moment. They're talking about the injuries that they've suffered and how they're going to be able to overcome it. Is Josh Allen okay?
We'll find out.
I mean, he took a beating.
We were doing show here actually 1 to 5 when that game was going on, and announcing, as we were not allowed to do play-by-play because he didn't have the rights.
Yeah.
All of this is not happening. Josh Allen did not just have his ankle twisted at the goal line. He is not being looked at. This might not be, actually could be a real problem. I don't know, though. Like, that dude is superhuman, and if that game didn't convince you he could carry them by himself to the Super Bowl, I don't know what would.
Jacksonville's defense is great.
Like, obviously there are limits, and he's had a lot of punishment. Talk about Herbert running around and scrambling. Like, he is a big part of the run game, obviously all their pass game, so we'll see. Those were some big hits. And a good Jaguars defense, he did that too, by the way.
Yeah, and that's the thing. But the thing about him is that he seems to be able to handle that. Like you said, he's like the kind of freak that can handle that.
Yeah, he gets banged up all the time, and he doesn't
he doesn't miss games.
Yeah.
I mean, he just doesn't. He hasn't missed a game since his rookie year. So, he can take that punishment.
He's the Vicodin and 10-beer quarterback that Buffalo's always deserved.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's can't feel his legs when he's playing. I mean, I would imagine that they just do Toradol in those situations. There's a famous thing that J.J. McCarthy, he refused the Toradol shot. And Toradol is not even an opiate. Like, just take it. Big deal. Still feel everything. What's wrong with you? Just get through this game. All right. Well, listen. 2 stats, 1 lie. Our friend Andrew Callahan is in studio. He is prepared. I don't know if there's even a chance that Hardy and I can get back into this due to his goofy 3 lie thing.
We've got 4 weeks left, including Super Bowl week.
Okay, so we will be able to do this. I'll pull out
the official stats here, and I'll tell you everybody.
All right, so we will have that information for you when we return. Here are the headlines.
Sports Hub headlines, presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Patriots back at work yesterday after a playoff win over the LA Chargers on Sunday. They will play Houston in round 2 of the NFL postseason Sunday afternoon at 3. The Texans won in Pittsburgh last night, 30-6. Well, actually, Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel told the media yesterday, though, Christian Gonzalez is indeed in concussion protocol. Celtics were without Jaylen Brown last night. They lost in Indiana 98-96. Brown fined $35,000 by the NBA for criticizing the officials after a Saturday night loss to San Antonio. Next Celtic game Thursday night in Miami. And the Bruins host Detroit tonight. Ryan Johnston and Bob Beers have the pregame at 7 and the face-off at 7:30 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by St. Anne's Credit Union. Financial milestones merit a big deal. Let St. Anne's help. Visit stannes.com. I'm John Wallach at Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 9 o'clock.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy.
1-1 to 1-1 to 1 line. 2-2-2 to 2-2 to 2 sets. 1 line, 2 sets, 1 line.
All right. We are Toucher and Hardy, and we play 2 stats and 1 lie with our friend Andrew Callahan from the Boston Herald. And where are we at right now, Hardy, if you would?
Wallach has 7. I have 4. You have 3.
Okay. So with 4 weeks left, this means that John would have to never get another point.
Yep.
Or I would have to hit an all lies, which is why John is so far in the lead right now. He's got another victories, but he did get all I. There's never been a week where we were all right, I don't think.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right, so basically this is a must-win scenario for me, almost. We're getting to that point.
Yeah, and you're going to have to play some strategy here, too. I mean, I don't know if you can afford to have the same guess as John, and I think it would be sporting of John to always pick before both of us to give us a shot at catching him.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here comes the boom.
Okay. All right, testing 1, 2, 3. Let's do this. It takes 2 steps on the other night. And 1 line, see if you can get it right.
All right, it's true. It's 2 stats and 1 lie. Andrew Callahan, you go.
Number 1. Since his starting debut against the Texans last year, when he had 2 interceptions and a lost fumble, Drake May has not had another game with 3 turnovers. Since his starting NFL debut against the Texans last year, when he had 2 interceptions and a lost fumble, Drake May has not had another game with 3 turnovers.
All right.
Number 2. Justin Herbert, who definitely absolutely sucked on Sunday. His 159 passing yards were the fewest the Patriots have ever allowed in a playoff win. Justin Herbert's 159 passing yards were the fewest the Patriots have ever allowed in a playoff win.
Oh, because, okay. All right, go ahead.
Number 3. Mike Vrabel has the lowest career winning percentage of any head coach left in the NFL playoffs. Mike Vrabel has the lowest career winning percentage of any head coach left in the NFL playoffs. I can read them off if you'd like, just to save time. DeMeco Ryans, Sean Payton, Sean McDermott, Mike McDonald, Kyle Shanahan, Ben Johnson, Sean McVay.
All right, so John will pick first, but let's think this out.
All right.
So Seattle, were they in the playoffs last year?
God, I don't remember off the top of my head, honestly.
I don't remember either, because his might be
0-0.
Yeah, like because if they didn't win a playoff game last
So if
year.
he's
No, they didn't make the playoffs last year. They did not. They had a winning record and they did not make the playoffs.
So does that mean his winning percentage is 0-0-0?
Career coaching percentage. So regular season and playoffs.
Oh,
so of all the coaches left in the playoffs,
Okay.
just take all of your wins and all of your losses combined, and what's your winning percentage?
Okay, but what is this for their careers not as a head coach also?
Career head coaching, I'll read it again. Career winning percentage of any head coach in the NFL. So just as a head coach.
Okay. So Seattle, he's going to have a really high winning percentage because they were so good this year and they had a winning record last year. Mm-hmm. Obviously, McVay's been a very successful head coach. DeMeco Ryans has been a very successful head coach.
Yep. Ben Johnson is 100%.
Yeah, Ben Johnson's, there's no way he doesn't have a higher winning percentage. You got to figure that's maybe true. It's DeMeco Ryans, and then Buffalo.
Yeah. Let John ruminate on this.
All right.
And come up with his
The only
answer.
ones you guys
want to have fun group rumination.
Sean Payton and Kyle Shanahan were the last two you didn't discuss there. Just, there are a lot.
I'm not doing some John Nash bargaining theory. What's good for the individual is also good for the group here. I want this to be mano a mano a mano.
This ain't no John Nash scene, baby.
All right, fair enough. I think that the lowest career winning percentage of any head coach, we were just going through it, but I had pretty much decided that is true. Since his starting debut, Drake May has not had another game with 3 turnovers. I'm not positive about that. But I remember the Patriots beating Tim Tebow at a playoff game at Gillette Stadium, whatever it was, a lot to a little, 56-10, whatever it was. Tim Tebow, when he was the starting quarterback for Denver, didn't throw passing yards worth a damn. I think that's the lie. I think Tebow threw for fewer than 159 passing yards in that blowout win at Gillette Stadium.
But Tebow had that one receiver, what was his name? He had the big
was
kid.
that Demaryius Thomas?
Demaryius Thomas.
But he had that long touchdown pass. That was against Pittsburgh the week before.
Okay.
To get them to that playoff game.
Because I just remember that Tebow would heave it up.
Right.
And he would do the rest.
But Tebow would throw maybe 10 passes a game.
Oh, sure.
Run 10 or 15 times, and I forget who the running back was at that time, but they had a very good running game to advance them along. Herbert's 159 yards passing was not the lowest. I think Tebow is the lowest. I say 2 is the lie.
Okay, I'll go next, again, in the interest of being a sport, since I have a 1-point lead over Fred. If for no other reason, number 2 was the lie last week. Mm-hmm. So I don't think 2 is the lie again this week.
Andrew's very creative. He doubles back.
Yeah. I think we've hashed out the Vrabel lowest career win percentage stat to the point where we believe that to be true. At least I have. So I'm going to go with number 1 being the lie.
Okay. I'm going to explain my situation. I think that there's a chance Buffalo has lost more games in the tenure than Vrabel has.
Yeah, you going that way? All right.
I'm with John. I think the Tebow point is very solid. Anytime Tebow's name comes up, I get electric because it means I'm going to be on CNN.
Sure.
And then Drake May has turned the ball over 3 times. You got to figure that's happened. Like 3 times in the game with all of his fumbles. And then that 5 turnover game in Pittsburgh, but they lost that game. It has to be a win?
No.
Well, yeah, they turned the ball over. Stevenson fumbled 3 times in that game.
Stevenson fumbled at least twice that I can remember.
Anyway, I'm going to say they're all lies.
Whoa!
Because I'm going to go and I'm going to say Buffalo has got I can't remember. I'm so tired. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. But the coach, McDermott is a lower winning percentage than Vrabel.
What a situation we've got here.
But I'm not just going for a Hail Mary. I'm saying that I agree with John on 2, that Tebow may be lower. I'm saying that McDermott has a lower winning percentage. And I'm saying that that Drake May has turned the ball over 3 times in another game. I'm saying that they're all lies.
All right.
Andrew?
Don't call it a comeback.
Yeah,
Fred's right.
Kaboom!
They were all lies.
Yes! Wow! Look at that. Look at that.
Way to go, Fred.
Look at that.
Right back in it.
Right back into things.
There you go.
That's the way you play the game on Andrew's part as well, because now things are interesting.
How
many points do I get for that?
3.
Okay, so now I have 6 points.
Yep.
So now I'm within striking distance.
Yeah, John has 7, and now I am suckling hind teat with 4.
And the worst case is the 3-lie thing is now done. You can't get back into it that way.
I know.
Okay.
Well, he has to go 3-0, and you have to go 0-3 for a tie.
Yes, that's correct.
Which is very possible because John came in last time. That would be funny if that happened again. All right, so can you go through why they are lies, please?
So John was correct, starting with the passing yards one. Tim Tebow had fewer. There was 1 or 2 other games, but that was clear. The Drake May lie. He's only had 1 other game with 3 turnovers. It was at Tennessee last year, when you remember that game ended on a pick. The only one. Also, the only other game he's had 2 interceptions in a game after his starting debut, which was against the Texans.
I was thinking fumbles. He's fond of losing the ball. He's more than he is of turning it over through the air. He's a fan of dropping.
But who's got the lower winning percentage? That's what I'm curious
There's only one coach, and you weren't right about this. It's Kyle Shanahan.
Ooh.
561 winning percentage. Vrabel is 581, but D'Amico Ryans, Sean Payton, Sean McDermott, Mike McDonald, Ben Johnson, Sean McVay, all higher than Mike Vrabel in terms of career winning percentage.
Do you know McDermott's off the top of your head, or do you have it in your phone?
It starts with a 6.
Okay.
I can just look this up.
All right. No, it's not a big deal. Interesting. I wouldn't have guessed Shanahan.
Attaboy, Fred.
Well, I got
We got a
lucky.
ball game.
I got lucky because I was wrong on the coach in 3.
The sad thing is I was right and yet wrong. That's the worst.
You got to catch the big lie.
Yeah.
I thought it would be McDermott.
I think it's stupid anyway.
All right. There you go. Back into things, and Craig Gass just texted me. So he is here.
Nice.
Okay. Can someone go down and let the man in, if you would? All right. Andrew Callahan from the Boston Herald, thank you for your time, sir. We always appreciate it. Have fun on Sunday. And hopefully next Tuesday we are breaking down a win in what should be a very, very good game against a very, very good Texans
This one's going to be close. This one's going to be really close.
Well, you hope so. You would hope so.
Woo!
I think that you couldn't ask for a better game. That's for sure. No, it's at home, so you get that. But this is no weak schedule nonsense. This is even if Nico Collins is gone, you're still playing that whole defense.
Buffalo AFC Championship game, though. Football gods be good.
That would be.
Oh no, that would be amazing. I think either way, if you have to go to Denver, that's interesting.
I know,
too.
but the sad part is everyone in the world has predicted Buffalo to play the Patriots in the AFC.
They're both
Championship
favorites.
game.
Buffalo 1.5-point favorite on the road.
Yeah, and the Patriots a 3-point favorite as it stands now at home. I would imagine that line might move a little bit in the Texans towards the Texans. All right. Listen, Andrew Callahan, thank you so much. Our friend Craig Gass will be joining us in just a moment.
Lines are brought to you by Service Credit Union. They're teaming with Charlie McAvoy for 73 Reasons to provide funding and health screens for first responders. Learn more at servicecu.org/73. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 9:30.
If you've got the app, you've got Toucher and Hardy to wake you up no matter where you are.
Or who may or may not have been to jail.
Get the app, the 98.5 The Sports Hub app.
And we're back. Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
So, yeah, that's the worst. Craig Gass, good friend, Craig Gass. I've known Craig. Craig is part of my favorite bit maybe I've ever done on the radio in Atlanta, and I can't find it. I'm going to ask you if you can remember it. But catch Craig, where have you been tour at the Comedy Connection in Providence this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. Tickets at getgas.com. Listen to Craig on the Beardo in Weirdo podcast. Craig, I'm sorry, you came into the studio. You were a little offended.
I was offended before I even got here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I was in my car, and I'm listening to Fred go, we got Craig Gass coming up, which usually is like a teaser of, man, this guy's so funny. And, you heard him on Family Guy, blah, blah, blah. But I'm driving up, and you go, yeah, Craig Gass is coming up. I'm trying to get out at lunch with that guy. I was supposed to have lunch with him, and I told him I would. But, man, I'm exhausted, and I just don't want to, well, maybe. And you guys start hatching a plan on how to get out of hanging out with me, and I was like, it seems like a bad teaser for my appearance.
Well, I mean, in Fred's defense, it has also dominated the commercial break conversation
Has
for
it really?
the morning. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You should be flattered.
Because he's conflicted. He doesn't want to stand you up, but and also in no way does he want to go out to lunch today.
But I will say this. As soon as I heard you say that, I wasn't offended, genuinely. And I thought, let's just meet up in San Francisco.
Well, I'm not going to be there.
You're not going to go?
I'm not going on the radio at 2:00 in the morning. No, I'm 3:00 in the morning. I'm not doing that. I did it in.
Is your team going?
Perhaps, but I'll love it from a distance.
We did it, Craig. We did it in Phoenix one year, and it was legitimately very difficult. Fred did not handle it well.
Yeah, you are superhuman because you have this ability to go do a comedy show and then get up at 4 a.m. and go do 4 hours of Stern or something. I can't. We did that. You're in an empty convention center.
True.
There's no one
2 a.m.,
around.
correct.
Yeah, there's us and Boomer Esiason, who Lord knows what he's up to. He's wide awake at 2 a.m. Who knows? Who knows what's pumping through that system?
Very odd. Yes.
Very odd. Enough where it's I'm over on my side. Of you shouldn't be that awake at 3 o'clock in the morning.
He's dressed well. He smells great. His hair's perfect.
Yeah, he's got a suit on. I'm all right,
3:30 in the morning Eastern time, and Boomer's ding. And he's rolled off the assembly line.
Yeah, he's you look like crap, and I'm like, no kidding. I'm staying at a motel by the airport.
Yeah, I didn't shave at 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I don't have CBS television dressing me up for this thing, and I don't know what they're pumping through your system. But you seem ready to go. Yeah, I'm miserable.
It is an interesting mix. That Super Bowl Media Center at the beginning of the week will be completely dead for a couple of days, and then Thursday you start seeing celebrities show up, and then Friday it's a madhouse. Tons of celebrities.
Okay.
Tons of former players, and I get roped into doing something that has led to causing problems because the smaller market friends who are broadcasting from there will say, because they know I do impressions, hey, Craig, can you join us on Monday when nobody's there and just pretend to be somebody famous? And so I'll go on, and the only remotely sports guy I can do an impression of is Tom Arnold, who used to host Best Damn Sports Show, period.
That's right.
And I will go full-blown Tom Arnold, and they'll say, hey, we're being joined live from the Super Bowl. We have Tom Arnold, former host of Best Damn Sports Show, period. Tom, what's going on? Not much, man. It's pretty crazy being here at the Super Bowl, and a lot of celebrities are coming into town. I was actually at a Cocaine Anonymous meeting last night with Brett Favre. Man, I probably shouldn't say that out loud. Brett's a big cokehead, and I'll just start naming random, his sponsor is Marv Albert. Marv's addicted to upskirt porn. Again, I shouldn't say that out loud, but Marv's always pumping off at work. And I'll throw out random sports people and attach them to addictions. And every year, the real Tom Arnold will get attacked by Twitter. And people go, dude, it's supposed to be anonymous. What is your problem? And Tom Arnold will fight every single individual on Twitter and go, hey, did you notice that Sam Kinison was also on the air? That guy's been dead for 30 years, you idiot. That wasn't me. That was Craig Gass. I wish he would stop. And yeah.
Okay, so you were in Atlanta, like you hung out for like a week. Remember we even like made a show, like we did a show. I had to go up before you and never done stand-up. I had to go up before you. It was but Craig killed. And you were in studio for like a week. And my partner, Jimmy Barron, had the number for Sean Hannity. He had his.
Oh yes.
Do you remember this?
Yeah, dude. We got Donald Trump on the phone. We got Sean Hannity on the phone. We got Jay Leno on the phone. We almost got Letterman.
So
all to talk to Al Pacino. They all believed they were hearing Al Pacino.
Okay, so we called. I don't remember the other ones, but I do remember that we got Sean Hannity. So we called Sean Hannity's cell phone. And Sean Hannity, do you remember the break? I can help you with this. But
Not only do I remember it, I remember the assistant was saying Sean is on vacation. He will not talk to anybody for a week. And then when she heard Al Pacino's voice, she went, okay, here's his cell phone.
Yeah, we call his cell phone, but he's got it's the celebrity cell phone where it doesn't go directly to them. It goes to it like it is an assistant. We got through two assistants. Craig's Al Pacino.
Yeah.
And Hannity's in the car and he's like, we can kind of play it out. He's like, Mr. Pacino, like, remember the Runaway Bride was a big story, and Hannity had a one-on-one with the runaway bride.
He was the only one to talk to the woman who ran away at the altar. It was a big story about a woman who was getting married, beautiful woman, and at the altar she said, I can't do this, and ran out. I think there might have been video of it or something.
So Craig calls him, and so we get through, and Sean answers the phone. He's like, Al Pacino, I'm such a fan.
Well, first he said, he goes, hello. And then I said, Sean, it's Al Pacino. I got to tell you, I'm watching this video, this interview. And he goes, uh-huh. He just wanted to hear it. He wanted to hear it. And then he paused and said, I will always remember, he goes, I'm going to be honest with you. When my assistant told me that Al Pacino was calling, I thought for sure this is a prank call. But can I tell you, I am a huge fan of yours. And he just started gushing.
And so do you remember how the call ended?
I said something about I want to bang her.
Yes,
she's so hot.
So he's Al Pacino, and he's like, I can't. So you do the thing. He's like, so I'll be like, hey, Al Pacino. So like, why are you calling?
That interview. You're the only one who's got that runaway bride. She seems kooky, and kooky girls are good in the sack.
So he starts talking. So he talks to Sean Hannity for like 5 minutes about the runaway bride interview, and he's like, can I get her number? I want to bang her. And then like Sean's like uncomfortable. Sean Hannity's like uncomfortable.
So he's not hip to it.
No, at the end Craig got like way over the top with it.
Yeah.
And Sean Hannity realized that we were pranking him, and Jimmy got on the phone and said, hey, we're pranking you, because Sean Hannity was on in Atlanta before I got there.
And you know what Sean said at the end of it? He goes, that's great, Jimmy. He goes, go ahead and use it. He gave us total permission.
Yeah.
He said, you got me. Use it for whatever you want. I couldn't believe it.
And so it's my favorite bit. Maybe my favorite bit that I've ever done, and I have no idea where it is. And it was all Craig.
Got it. Jimmy still has that audio, and we got to get it from Jimmy. That's something that I'll do in my free time, just prank calling people. In fact, I met Tom Arnold 25 years ago when I first started doing stand-up. And my first conversation with him was a prank phone call. I didn't even record it. I just did it for myself. I was starting out stand-up in Seattle. I'm from New York, but I started doing stand-up in Seattle. And one of the open micers came to the open mic and said, hey, you know that Hilton Hotel that I work at? that grand opening for Planet Hollywood that's happening this weekend? All the celebrities are staying in my hotel. And I go, yeah, like what celebrities? And he goes, Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Tom Arnold. And I said, Tom Arnold is staying at your hotel? And he goes, yeah. And Tom Arnold had just killed it in True Lies, and I think it was 9 months was the movie. And so I went home, I looked up the Hilton, and I said, hi. I called him up. Tom Arnold, please. And they put me through. Tom Arnold. And again, I was working in radio at the time with Bob Rivers, Twisted Radio, but I didn't record this. I just did it for myself. Tom picked up and he goes, hello. And I said, Tom, it's Sam Kinison. And Sam had been dead for 8 years. And Tom Arnold goes, hey, buddy, how you been? It's good to hear from you, man. What's going on? And I go, Tom, I'm in the afterlife, and I need your help. He goes, whatever you need, buddy. Just tell me what you need. I'm here to help you. And I said, well, what I need is some cocaine. And so I want to give you some instructions. I need you to follow these instructions. First of all, I need you to front me the cash because I don't have any cash. And I want you to purchase the cocaine. And this is where it gets tricky. I want you to go back to Los Angeles, and I want you to drive to Jerry Lewis's house. And when you get to Jerry's house, I want you to knock on the door. When Jerry answers the door, take the cocaine, put it in the small pocket of his pants, and I'll have it when he gets here in 3 weeks. Oh! And then I finally stopped and just said, I'm sorry, Tom, my name's Craig Gass. I'm a stand-up comedian. I'm a huge fan of yours. And he said, yeah, that impression is so good. I need to call my sponsor right now. That's how good that is. And,
you would thrown him for a loop.
Yeah, and then we became friends, and then the rest is history. But yeah, that's prank calls are one of my favorite things, and you allowed me to do that to so many people when you're in Atlanta.
Yeah,
also, Fred, I have to point out, is a rare person who made a promise to me meeting me somewhere. It might have been at a Super Bowl, and you said, no, it was were you at the Grammys once?
Yes.
It was at the Grammys. You said, hey, man, you're really funny. I'm going to bring you to Atlanta, have you do a show out there. And I was like, yeah, all right, sure. And you actually did it.
Yeah.
You actually put together a big show for me, and we hung out on the air all week, and we did a big gig, and so I was always grateful to you for that. But
that was
he also said he was going to have lunch with you.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
Well, listen, I can put on a show, but lunch is out of the question. But the thing that got me with you is your relationship with kids.
Mm-hmm.
And you've had an opportunity to deal with them on several occasions.
I am in the next few weeks. I'm not joking when I say this. In the next few weeks, I'm putting out a comedy special where the entire comedy special is me just making fun of Kiss for an hour. That's the entire show. And I am a guy who does impressions, obviously. But for those who don't know, and this is not a joke, I've always been able to do any voice that I hear because of how I grew up. My entire family is deaf. My mom, my dad, and my sister are all completely deaf. I'm only laughing because people get so quiet with that because they go, oh, man, you can't make jokes about that. But people always get really sensitive about that topic, about my family being deaf. Most people are sensitive. I did do a show once opening for Metallica. I'm the first comedian to ever do stand-up opening for Metallica. That crowd.
I was going to ask you, and we'll follow up on that later, but opening for bands, which I've seen a couple of times, I can't imagine what that gig is like.
Yeah, that crowd was not sensitive. And not even the drummer, who's the guy who got me the gig, that guy was so excited to meet me. He met me when I got to the venue, and he said, dude, I love your story. And I said, oh, my God. Thank you. I didn't know that you knew about my story. I didn't realize he had heard a wildly off version of my backstory because he walked me into a dressing room to introduce me to the other 3 members of Metallica, and he said, hey, man, this is Craig. This is the guy who does all the voices, and check it out. His whole family is retarded. I go, they're not retarded. They're deaf. Dude, you are messing my story up. But I grew up in a family that's deaf. They're all deaf. They're not retarded. They're all deaf. So, yeah, comedy connection. Providence, Rhode Island. But anyway, so, but I because my whole family was deaf, I couldn't learn how to talk. From my family. I learned how to talk by watching TV and copying all the voices I heard on TV. And I never got an accent from the Bronx, which is where I'm from. And everybody in the Bronx, I always say, and it's true, everybody in the Bronx sounds like Tracy Morgan.
Everybody in the Bronx talk like this, whether you black or white. male or female. It's crazy. Hey, this is the voice of your next door neighbor, and I'm a Vietnamese girl. That's crazy.
Like, everybody sounds like that. So the weirder the voice, the easier it is for me to do it. And I became a huge music fan, and so I started watching Kiss and Metallica and Motley Crue and all those hard rock bands. And I started doing impressions on the Howard Stern show, which Gene Simmons became a full-blown character. And I learned how to do Gene Simmons, by the way, from a friend of mine here in Boston. My buddy John Bianelli, who works for Aerosmith, told me 25 years ago, he said, if you want to do a Gene Simmons impression, all you got to do is listen to Benjamin Netanyahu. It's the same voice. Hi, this is Benjamin Netanyahu from Kiss. It's the same thing. So I started doing this impression of Gene Simmons from Kiss on the Howard Stern show, and this weird thing happened where all these people started contacting me who worked with Kiss and saying, I got a story for you. I got a story for you. And the stories were horrifying. Like, I can't do that.
Oh.
Like, there was one guy who worked with another band, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and he goes, hey, man, we're recording a new album with the Chili Peppers, and the owner of the studio wants to talk to you. And the guy gets on the phone, and he said, hey, I'm a huge fan of all of your impressions, especially your Gene Simmons, because Gene Simmons was the first person to ever screw me over in this business. And what happened was he brought in an artist that he was going to record at my studio. And at the last minute, Gene wanted to switch to my largest facility for the same amount of money. And when he showed up, he said, did you get my message? I want to use Studio A. And I said, I did. I actually called you back. I don't know if you got my message, but someone is using that studio. I asked them if they would switch, and they said no. Do they know that Gene Simmons from Kiss is here? And he goes, you know what? If you want to ask him, you can ask him. I'm not going to ask him again. He goes, okay, where's Studio A? It's all the way down the hall. It's the last door on the right. Gene Simmons goes walking down the hallway, opens up the door to Studio A, looks inside and sees the rap group, the Wu-Tang Clan, recording an album, and then slowly closes the door, comes back up to the front and goes, right, where's Studio B? He never even opened the Wu-Tang Clan. The other one that I loved was the guy who worked with Kiss who said, you know I've been working with Kiss on and off for 25 years. About 15 years ago, before Gene Simmons got married, Gene hooked up with Miss America while we were on tour. It was the reigning Miss America of that year, and Gene Simmons hooked up with her. The next day, Gene hooked up with a girl. Yeah, it was a whore. It was. She was a mess. Even the guys in the road crew were going, "Geez, did you see that?" And he said, "The next day, we have a day off in a town that's so small that the band and the crew are staying in the same hotel." And he said, "I'm in the bar of the hotel when Gene Simmons started walking to the lobby." I turned around, we made eye contact, and he's walking through the lobby, dragging this very heavy girl through the lobby, gets in the elevator, pushes the button to his floor, and then makes eye contact with me as he pushes the button and goes, oh yeah, bing, and then the door is closed. And he said the next day at Soundcheck, he walked up to him and said, Gene, did you hook up with that girl last night? And he goes, of course. And he goes, Gene, didn't you hook up with Miss America the other night? And he goes, Steve, listen to me. I'm going to give you some valuable advice, okay? You can't have filet mignon every night. Sometimes you got to go to McDonald's. That's the worst I've ever heard.
All right. Craig Gass is here. He's going to hang out. He's going to be at the Comedy Connection in Providence this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. You can get tickets at getgas.com. We'll do our award-winning email segment with Craig coming up in just a moment.
Toucher and Hardy will be right back on the Sports Hub.
All right. Blue Chew is the service that allows you to chew it and do it. If you go to bluechew.com, you'll be able to pick out the right strength and ingredients for your prescription depending on your particular needs. But let's face it, everybody needs to be better in the bedroom. Maybe not Gene Simmons, but everybody else. Everyone else could deal with a little performance enhancing. Gene, did you ever need to up your performance in a certain situation?
Even a masculine god of thunder like myself can.
should do the email bit. It's a great idea. Let's do the email bit.
That's why he's money-making Nick. All right, the Toucher and Hardy email bit is powered by Jeffrey Glassman Injury Lawyers. If you've been hurt in a car or work accident, you got to get Glassman. Don't just send him an email. Call all sevens, which everyone can remember, 617-777-7777, or visit gottagetglassman.com. That is what's going on there. Our friend Craig Gass, I told him I would go to the show in Providence on Saturday night. It would be my pleasure, which doubles up any lunch confusion.
It does not.
No. It's a broken. Today is a broken promise.
It does
sir.
not make
That's
up.
all
It
is.
does not make up for that. Lunch is a much more intimate affair.
Well, no, I'd go to the show and then I'd hang out with Craig for a while after.
Yeah, he was planning on hanging out with you today. Now he's got this huge empty spot in his schedule, and it's like, what's he going to do? You don't care because you think you go into his show. There's going to be a ton of people at his show, or you're going to hang out with him after his show. Everybody wants to hang out with him after his show.
But how many are a terrestrial radio kingpin in the Boston area that will be there?
Yeah,
right.
Good point.
I mean, the A-list vibe in the crowd of a market that I'm not even broadcasting is going to be electric. I can promise you that.
Yeah, I don't know anybody on the Patriots this year, so I want to be able to invite them. Dude, when I would run into you at the Super Bowl, I got some great stuff with the Patriots. There was that Super Bowl when it was the Rams and the Patriots in Houston.
Yeah.
I go to the Super Bowl every year, and I interview. I'm a huge football fan, so I go to the Super Bowl every year to interview the players. And when it was the Rams and the Patriots,
that was in Atlanta.
Oh, was it in Atlanta?
Yeah.
Oh, it was. You're correct. I'm sorry, I was wrong. You're right. It was in Atlanta. I had just put on a bunch of weight. I had messed up my foot, so I was bedridden for a while, and I put a bunch of weight. And my theme that year, when I was talking to the players, is you're in great shape. Because you're a professional football player. I'm a comedian, so I look like this. It's my birthday in 2 weeks. How do I look like you in 2 weeks? And I remember one of the guys in the Rams, before I even pointed the microphone at him, he just went, "Pray to Jesus." And I was like, okay. But Rob Gronkowski was the one guy that threw us all for a loop. I go, "Hey, Rob, my name is Craig Gass. I'm a stand-up comedian. Dude, you're in great physical shape because you're a professional athlete. I'm not because I'm a stand-up comedian. It's my birthday in 2 weeks. How do I look like you in 2 weeks?" And Rob Gronkowski went, oh, wow. How much time do you got? And I went, 2 weeks? And he goes, okay.
That sounds right.
Okay, off the top, 1,000 burpees a day. And I went, what? And he goes, yeah. No. 1,000 for sure. 1,000. And I was like, do you think I could ever look like you, let alone in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
I love him so much.
Well,
man.
listen, the man is a genetic freak. All right, so you, not everything is so wholesome with you. You have been, you have a very odd relationship with Kiss.
Yes.
You made this. You told the story about how you would do Gene Simmons, and you were in that Jackie chair for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And Gene Simmons, I remember, came in the studio, and you were dressed like Gene Simmons. And
Yes.
You were doing Gene Simmons to Gene Simmons.
Yes, and because Gene actually heard about the impression and showed up in New York one day and confronted me live on the air on the Howard Stern show. Our producer, Gary, came and said, "Hey, guys, we got a problem. Gene Simmons from Kiss, he wants to beat the hell out of Craig right now." And I was like, what? And then Howard goes, "Oh, bring him in." And I was like, no. And, yeah, bring him in. And he showed up. And then the joke that I had about Gene Simmons was, I'm trying to monetize everything. That was the joke.
It's great.
And Gene comes in and starts fighting me and then starts to sell us a Kiss casket on the air to where Gene Simmons or Howard kept going, "Wait a minute, are you just doing what Craig does, or do you really have a casket?" And he said, "No, it's a real it's $5,000. It's got a beautiful Kiss logo on the side of it." And in the corner of the room, I grabbed a microphone and went, "Howard, you know what else is crazy? For $1 million, I will throw Peter Criss into the casket, and you can spend eternity spooning with Kiss." "No, shut up. No, you shut up. No, you shut up." And everyone at home is like, "Who the hell is talking?" The next day, I get a phone call from McGee Entertainment. They manage
Doc McGee.
Yeah. They manage Kiss, and they said, "Hey, Craig, we wanted to reach out to you. We are the management company for the band Kiss, and we wanted to call you to tell you that our singer, Paul Stanley, is your biggest fan." And I said, "Get out of here." And they said, "No, don't tell anybody this, but Paul loves when anyone makes fun of Gene Simmons. I said, get out of here. They said, no, in fact, he's going to call you. And he did. He called me, and he offered me a gig. He said, I want you to perform with
No,
Kiss.
dude, come on.
Well,
yeah, come on. Don't say Paul Stanley.
Make with the Paul.
the Paul Stanley call was him saying, I want you to perform with Kiss on the Kiss Cruise. And I said, well, do you want me to do stand-up, or do you want me to just introduce the band? And he said, well, let me ask you a question. How many jokes do you have about Gene? And I said, literally hours. And he said, you got the gig. And I was like, really? That's it? So I go out. And by the way, there's two Paul Stanleys. There's offstage Paul Stanley that I just did, which is I've seen him in interviews where he's super confident. And I remember in an interview once somebody said, why is Kiss so incredible? And Paul Stanley's response was, you know, a lot of bands are envious of Kiss. I'm even envious of Kiss. And I was like, my God, how do you get that confident? And then there's on stage Paul Stanley where I heard him say, and I'm quoting, in Las Vegas, I heard him say, all right, people, now listen. You know, I know this town, Las Vegas, Nevada, is known for its buffets. And I can tell you right now, I see a lot of people in the front row that I really want to eat. And then he started.
Yeah, he did that in Atlanta with canned peaches. He goes, this place is full of it's known for its peaches. And I love peaches, but not the kind in a can. And you're like, okay, Paul, I get it. I just saw something with Paul yesterday where he was on MTV, and I'm going to ruin it because I'm not going to do offstage Paul. That's the gift of Craig Gass. But she's like, where were you? And he was like, I was just doing an experiment with how much fluid a man can lose in like Holland. He's like, I heard, he does not in the voice, but he's like, I heard in Holland a man can lose a lot of fluid. And Martha Quinn's, he got lost in it, and it didn't even go anywhere.
Yeah.
And she was just like, okay.
So, but when you're on a Kiss cruise, that's full of Kiss fans.
It is. But
so if you're up there goofing on Gene Simmons,
they love it. They absolutely loved it. But I do have to say, those crazy Paul Stanley speeches, before I tell you what happened on the Kiss Cruise, I went to one more Kiss show on that same tour a few months later in New York at Madison Square Garden. They let me bring a bunch of comedians backstage with me. I brought Jim Norton, Steve Byrne, and Jeff Ross with me backstage. And I'm introducing the comedians to everyone that works with Kiss. And anyone that works with Kiss, when they're walking by, go, hey, by the way, did you hear Paul in Vegas saying he's going to eat the front row? And 3 different guys who worked for Kiss said, did you hear what he said in Omaha? I said, what? And he goes, ask about what happened in Omaha. And apparently in Omaha, Nebraska, Paul Stanley said, all right, people, now listen. I know this town, Omaha, Nebraska, is known for its Angus beef. And I can tell you right now after this show, I'm going to want to sink my teeth into some meat. And the whole arena went, what? And he goes, now wait a minute. Hold on. I know you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a thigh or a rump roast. And the arena went, what? And
There's little things on men, too.
Yeah, and apparently the guitar techs behind the stage were going, what the hell's he doing? Like, everybody got really confused. But on the Kiss Cruise, I met a girl on the cruise who was the cruise director. She's super upbeat, really peppy. And when she meets me, she goes, oh, my God, you're Craig Gass. You're the comedian. You're the guy who does all the voices with Family Guy and American Dad. And do you want to do a funny announcement on the ship tomorrow morning? And I went, oh, God, yes. Yeah. Absolutely. And I said, well, let me ask you a question. If I make an announcement, who's going to hear the announcement? And she goes, well, if you want, we can flip a switch and it'll get piped into every cabin on the ship. And I went, flip that switch. I know exactly what I want everyone to wake up to tomorrow morning. And the next morning, 3,000 Kiss fans at sea woke up to bing bong.
Hey, everybody, this is Paul Stanley. And this is Gene Simmons from Kiss. And we have a very important announcement. Do not panic, but we have a very important announcement about the Kiss Cruise.
At that moment, my friends on the ship said all the fans had stopped in their tracks and were looking at the speakers and smiling until the next line that came out of my mouth, which was,
we've just hit an iceberg.
Which, keep in mind, when I said we've just hit an iceberg, We're in the middle of the freaking Bahamas.
Right, you're in the Caribbean, right.
There's no reason for you to panic and go, this ship's going down.
Right.
We're in the Bahamas.
But do not panic, because KISS is going to take care of everybody. We actually have 3 packages to get you off the ship. First, we have the platinum package, $5,000. We'll put you in a lifeboat, and you'll have your own private photo and medical care from KISS. Then we have the diamond package. Isn't that right, Paul? That's right, the diamond package. For $10,000, where we throw you in the ocean with Tommy and Eric, and then KISS floats by on a raft. We do a private. Everything I said was stupid, but several passengers on the ship actually ran to the employees and said, "So KISS is going to charge us to get off the boat?" Genuinely,
it's not a ridiculous premise. You know, Hardy's doing a musical cruise of his own this month.
Couple of weeks, the '90s cruise.
Oh, that's a great cruise.
Have you done the '90s cruise before?
I've done a few music-themed cruises,
Yeah.
and then I've also done Chris Jericho's Rock and Wrestling Cruise, which is amazing. I haven't watched professional wrestling since I was like 12 years old.
What's wrong with you? It's almost like you grew out of it.
It's so much fun.
Okay.
It is so. I'm back into it now because of Jericho. But yeah, I mean, who's on the '90s cruise?
Smash Mouth.
Okay.
Sugar Ray.
Oh, Sugar Ray's great.
Sponge, Tonic, Fuel. Robin Wilson of Gin Blossoms is a special musical host. I don't know what that means.
Okay.
TLC. En Vogue, DJ Cool.
And most importantly, Hardy.
And Hardy.
Yeah, Downtown Julie Brown.
Sugar
me,
Ray.
Cat Corbett.
Oh, how cool is that?
Yeah.
Sugar Ray has had me open for them a couple times. I've mostly opened for big rock bands like System of a Down, Metallica, Motley Crue. I did Pantera last summer, and I got in a lot of trouble. The way I opened for a big rock band, and this started with Metallica. When I opened for Metallica, I get to the venue, and then it hit me. Everyone here is on coke. Why am I doing this? This is a really bad idea. Looking out in that crowd, and Lars noticed that I was nervous about it. He said, "Dude, you're overthinking it. I'll walk out on stage and I'll say, hey, Metallica's about to kick your ass in about 15, 20 minutes. But first, I'm going to bring a good friend of mine out here who's going to tell you some jokes." And I was like, "Are you crazy?
No, don't.
That's the worst idea.
Get ready to laugh.
Yeah, get ready to laugh.
Here are specific jokes that he will be telling to you.
Yeah. And it was, I just said, just give me the microphone, let me go out there. And I came up with an idea out of fear that I've repeated over and over again, which was I walked out on stage and I said, "Good evening. My name is Craig. I am Metallica's tour manager." And the place went, "Yeah." And I said, "The band has some very important announcements they asked me to read to you." And everything I read was awesome, but not true. You may have heard some rumors, and it's true. We are recording our first ever live album right here. So I need your attention. There's a proper way to yell on a live album. So we have to rehearse this. And they followed every stupid instruction I gave them. And then I'd fill in some jokes, make it another announcement.
It's actually kind of brilliant.
Yeah, it's
And
good.
you get away with murder doing that. So Pantera had me open for them last summer at First Avenue in Minneapolis, where Prince filmed Purple Rain.
Yep. We've been there.
I go out there and I make the announcement. I'm Pantera's tour manager. I was going crazy. And I said, they asked me to read some announcements. We're recording our first ever live album. We're living in a modern age now that's very different from when I first started doing this, which is there's crazy social media outlets that cover all these genres of music. So all these hard rock and heavy metal websites started covering that there was an employee for Pantera who was just announced they're recording a live album, which infuriated Pantera fans because 2 of the original members are dead.
Right.
So people are like, "You can't do that." And people started going crazy online. And because I was completely anonymous, I started crapping on myself on the comments and going, "Yeah, screw that guy.
Right.
I hate the employee." And that would quote my jokes and go, "Why did he even bring up the size of Zach Wilde's genitalia? What does that mean?" And then
I didn't mention Dimebag Darrell once.
yeah, I was like, "I hate that guy. That guy should die." Like I'm getting to heckle myself. And then Pantera put out a statement and said, "No, we're not putting out a live album. That was just a joke from our comedian buddy, Craig Gass, and they tagged me in everything.
Oh boy!
And the mom came for me. Yeah, and it was like, oh man,
away
there's
we
just
go.
jokes. Yeah. But
All right. Look, we have to break, but we have one more break with you. We'll be back in just a moment here.
Comedy Connection, Providence, Rhode Island.
Yes, I'm going to plug you. We got you still. We'll be back in one moment.
The Sports Hub. We know what you're thinking. What could I possibly have missed from the show? It's time for The Stack on Toucher and Hardy.
All right, we are Toucher and Hardy. The Stack is brought to you by New England's largest Volkswagen dealer group, Colonial VW, located in Medford, Wellesley, and Westboro. Come see the amazing finance and lease offers happening every day at colonialvw.com. Yes, you can have it all at Colonial. Our friend Craig Gass, Where Have You Been tour is at the Comedy Connection in Providence this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. Tickets at getgas.com. That is happening in Providence Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. Tickets at getgas.com. You've got your Seahawks hat on. Of course, you were a big Seattle Seahawks fan. Sammy D.
Yeah, and I've always I'm a rare person who, when I've gotten beat by Tom Brady, I'm like, yeah, man, what can you do? The guy, like I don't understand hatred for a guy who's phenomenal. Like I look at Tom Brady and I go, wish I was handsome. You know, I wish I was handsome. I wish I had. I wish I was proud of who I was banging at home. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
right.
You know, it's like I wish I had everything that he had, and good for him. I mean, to check all the boxes. And also, I've been able to talk to the guy, and he's all, dude, that guy has always been playful with me. Every time I've talked to Tom Brady at the Super Bowls, you know, you're surrounded by guys in that media crush who are asking, you know, what are your thoughts about Sunday, and these questions like, well, what kind of content are you going to get out of this? And early on, I just started, when I would see Tom Brady, I'd say, Tom, my name's Craig Gass. You're so handsome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like when you look in the mirror, like, does your reflection ever just wink at you? Like it's gotta be. And he laughed hard, and that ended up on ESPN. They're like, look at Tom Brady laughing at the media day from a comedian who asked him, and they never credit me. And then
a comedian, yeah.
And then, I know you've had this. I know you've had this. You got Tom Brady on again and again and again, and you just think, what else can I ask this guy? You know, and as a comedian, it was like, well, what other funny thing? And I started doing this thing with Tom where I said, hey, Tom, my name's Craig Gass. I'm a stand-up comedian. That's my buddy Aaron. This is my buddy Jason over here. We were discussing the four of us as a group, and we were ranking the four of us from most handsome to least handsome. Obviously, you're number one because you're Tom Brady. But, Tom, who would you rank as number two? And I point to myself, number three and number four. And Tom Brady actually said, wait, who am I ranking? And I go, me, and this guy,
boy.
and this guy. And Tom goes, all right, fan out. And I was like, oh. We all started fanning out. And, dude, I didn't do this consciously. I realized later that subconsciously I was sucking in my gut and pushing my chin
wanted his
out.
approval?
I want Tom Brady to tell me I'm handsome.
You won Tom Brady's approval.
Yeah.
There's no question about it. You like Seattle on Sunday?
I do. I feel good about it. Oh, man, I wanted to tell you the Al Pacino fight story.
Yeah, I know. You got a lot of stories. What can I do?
Well, we'll get to that.
Well, if you want to call in or
lunch?
something on Friday, you can tell the story.
All right.
That'd be good. We can do that.
If you got room on Friday, I would love to tell the
Yeah,
story.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I would like to hear you tell the story. All right, Craig Gass. See him at the Comedy Connection in Providence this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. I will be in attendance on Saturday.
Love it.
I don't think I've ever seen you at a club. I've seen you when we put on a show at a mini arena, 3,000 seat thing.
Yep.
That was a show you put together for him.
And it's really it's almost like a blur, and I don't really remember a ton of it.
You don't remember about it?
What's that?
Who you tried to hook me up with?
Oh, no, I don't remember that. I know my mother-in-law was in the audience, and I was
It was
making
your
fun of her
mother-in-law,
when
and you said, will you make out with my mother-in-law?
Oh, that's why I didn't die on stage. That's why I didn't die on stage. So I had to do something to and it was one of those things where they're like, Fred, go out. Hardy's been through this, where they're like, you go out there, and I'm not a comedian, and I have the utmost respect for stand-up. I think it's the hardest thing the hardest art in the world to do. It's just you and an audience, and I do not have that ability. And I went up there, and And I was that's what I did to get away with it. Yes. And I had my mother-in-law, and I was like, and I'm like, will you hook up with Craig? I'm like, Craig, will you hook up
Hard
with
to
my
believe you're
mother-in-law?
divorced.
Yeah. Fred goes, my mother-in-law really likes you. And I go, oh, that's cool. And he goes, you should make out with her. And I go, what?
Yeah.
He goes, get her off my back. Get her off me. He goes, dude.
That's why I'm divorced.
You go, get her off. And you go, if you.
I wasn't even married at the time. It was my mother-in-law to be.
Yeah. He goes, my mother-in-law drives me so crazy. If you could marry her, it would make my life so much easier. And I was like, Fred, this is going in a weird direction.
Yeah,
here.
just get her to shut up.
Yeah,
if you get her to shut up for 5 minutes, that would be fantastic.
If you come out to the shows this weekend, it's a lot of. I am the biggest football fan, and the shows this weekend, the Comedy Connection, is a lot of football. I mean, yes, a lot of voices. If you're a fan of Family Guy or American Dad or any of the shows I've been on, King of Queens, Sex and the City, you'll love the show. But a lot of football talk because this is my favorite time of year, man. Playoff football, and I really hope the Patriots make it up to San Francisco so that I can sit in Fred's chair at 2:00 in the morning from San Francisco.
You can do the show.
It'd be great.
Yeah, you, why don't you just do the show? You can host the show.
I'll work on my Fred Toucher impression.
That's it's unmistakable. You get ready to get the crowds rolling in. You get that under your hat. All right, Craig Gass.
People, listen. Welcome to the Fred Toucher Show. I'm Paul Stanley.
Hello, Providence. I heard you're known for. I don't really know. It's a very mid-market.
You lick me, I lick you. That's an actual intro he did on stage.
I know them all. All right, Craig Gass, go see him in Providence Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. Appreciate it, buddy. We do appreciate it. We love you.